You were made for loving me, baby. Let's see how it goes. Hey, true blue, don't say you're gone. Say you've knocked off for a smoko and you'll be back later on.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, true blue. I've just gone for a mellow blue background, something shimmering, almost like you're going through the curtains of a stripper's pavilion. Jessie is the first one here. Let us know how the sound goes, Copper. Welcome to what is for the USA the Halloween month. We'll explain why the background has changed so much soon, and then you can feel appreciated. Okay, we've got Spuddy Sims here. Or is it a simulation of Spud? We've got Diamond Bravo. G'day, mate, how you going? We've got the Bishop Sheave here. We've got Mike Ledger keeping it legit. We've got Fugly still at work. Be careful, he's a glazier. You don't want to drop that glass. You know, yet here I am in a glass house throwing my own rocks, so to speak. Capture mums as they happen. Just so you may or may not be aware, YouTube has changed yet again. Streamlabs, I found too, was also not connected to this account. That is why we've lost the faces of wisdom that were below, that you were chapped by, apparently. So, team, welcome to the Tuesday night stream. And this is all going to be new for you, right? So go with me. We've got Lauren is shining, as always.
Yep.
Sorry. And she's in my hand right here.
Yep. Hello.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Jessie, I wish I had your girl, and he said the sound is perfect. I've been eating curry. Be careful what you wish for.
Oh, goodness.
It is past midday, but we've got AM here too. G'day, AM. Nice to have you here. And we've got Rhinopolis saying howdy, all the way from Texas. No, not the Acropolis seed up, but from Australia. Slim Jim Bob, good to have you here, Kaz. A bit hard to hear, bro. Let me turn you up. Turn it up, Kaz. Turn it up. Okay, what I want to see, that looks a little bit loud. What I want to see is some thumbs up for those that have watched, because tonight we're going to be talking about it. The Australia SAS Channel 7 Who Dares Wins, which has actually got nothing to do with SAS. But if you watch the first two episodes, let me know, because we will be talking about it tonight along with some other subjects. And I've got some things to announce tonight. The winner of the T-shirt competition for how much is in the sailor's sack, plus some great news that happened today. Slim Jim rocking the Skippy badge right there. Good on you, Slim. What's the secret to weight loss today? We've got Bryce Simpson here. Good on you, mate. I am watching them now. Good on you, mate. Sounds loud and clear, Kaz. Well done, Daz. Daz is about as ochre as it gets for a man who drives a Hyundai like I do. He gave me some great advice too on a second-hand air conditioning, because I'm just too hot for the car I drive. I'm saving that money up for other reasons, like what happened today. We've got Benjo, as they'd say in New Zealand instead of banjo. We've got Sean Haddleton here. Hey, Kaz, how are you going? I'm good. We've got the Screaming Wife. No, it's not the Screaming Wife, it's Harpy. But you know what I mean, anyone who's got a mother-in-law.
Yep.
We've got little Paulie. Hey, Kaz,
Yep.
big fan. I wish I had a big fan in here, but I'll probably go with the aircon in a minute. The videos have helped me getting through my ADF application. That's the whole point of them. And we've got iceberg lettuce straight underneath. Ashley is never going to let you down. He's never going to give you up.
Rolling up?
Sorry?
Are you Rick-rolling up?
No. We've got Aaron. Aaron Hazelton, brown eyes. Hey, Kaz. G'day, mate. We've got Brenton Jewett. If this is your first time here, team, let us know that this is your first time here. While you tick like, throw a hand in colour there like it's Tourette's, and enjoy the Australian global stream, if that doesn't confuse you. Subscribe right now. The only channel that gets back to you consistently, whether it be in comments or on the bat phone if you're a Patreon member. We've got Brenton here. We've got Jessie is still here. We've got Robbie Kent, the keeper of hounds, will be happy with the news from today.
Oh, yeah.
Good looking lady. I will be the judge of that. Hi, sorry. Sorry, I'm late. The baby's not mine. YouTube bugged me and does not send me notifications. Bastards.
You're not late. You're right on time. We've just started.
Bastardo is bastard in Spanish. Ryanopoulos, late. Good looking lady. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I've already lost them. You're so far behind in the comments.
Okay, Lauren, start feeding them to me if we can. We've said our hellos.
Yeah, we've got to say hello to Jay. Jay's here.
Hey, Jay Hayes, that's West Side, not cerebral palsy.
So if anyone's got any thoughts or comments on the SAS show, let us know. If you've got any questions, let me know and I'll pick them out and ask Kaz.
Yep, and is the background at the moment, is that a cop or a drop? Do we want to stick with that? That's fairly easy going, or we can go something kind of what the subject is about tonight, and we can go with this one. Bam. Who are you? Because that is the summary of what the Who Dares Wins Channel 7 SAS experience is, SAS Australia. It is celebrities, those that have professionally given emotion, probably don't know who they are at all, which is the reason one. Bam, they're quitting, they're falling like flies on a bloody Burke fly screen, or all their answers seem bullshit. They're quitting so fast. They're realising now they're not who they think they are, and they're ruining their careers by ripping away the Wizard of Oz curtain that is showing people behind the cult of celebrity who they actually are. Because this might be the first time outside auditions, casting couches, etc., that they've actually had someone, bam, in their face that doesn't give a shit who they are, making them hold up the mirror in front of themselves and see who they really are. Very rare will you, and Lauren will give you a rundown in a minute about identity.
Oh, yeah.
Because this has got nothing to do with military, what they're doing. It's got nothing to do with SAS. No matter what Aunt Middleton says, this is just a show. But it's not a show for those contestants that are on it. This is real. This is reality. Yep. It's affecting their lives now and forever.
Yep. Sometimes who we think we are, because of the little bubble we live in, sometimes we surround ourselves with people who keep telling us that we're really great at something, and we can actually fall into the trap of just blindly believing it. And then when it comes to actually being tested, you find maybe you're not that great in the greater pool of people out there. So who we think we are is kind of important.
Well, it's one of the reasons why cadets are so nervous to go to Army Reserve or regular Army. And once they get in reserves, they're scared to go to regular Army. Once they get in reserves, they're scared to get promoted. Once they're been promoted, they're scared to get promoted again. They're scared as a qualified operational veteran of tours to then go for Special Air Service or to go to the 2nd Commando Regiment. The reason is every time you upskill in a career that has absolutely no politics involved, well, there is, of course, but you know what I'm talking about. You are faced with who you are, and you're competing, and you are putting your personality over the top of other people's personalities, where they'll tell you exactly where you fit in the mix, and it might be a lot lower. An example of that would be someone who is the fastest long distance runner in England, never gets beaten, has personal bests, and goes to the Olympics and comes dead goddamn last.
Yep.
You know, that would be hard.
Yep. Here's Gabe Carrigan said he doesn't think criminals should be given TV shows, and he'd like your thoughts on it.
Well,
I'm in agreement with him, to be honest.
I am in agreement, but we can't say you've done your time and then hold them accountable again. If otherwise people, it might be your house they're robbing next, and they might say, you know what? You weren't going to give me another go anyway. You weren't going to give me another job. So I survived.
Yeah, if someone's paid their time to society, we do need to give them another go. That doesn't mean you be stupid about it, though.
One of the saddest things of the 3 or 4 the 3 ladies that have quit already, and I do actually sincerely mean what is sad about it, is they were three girls that really Chappelle, the born to lie girl with the braids, who's not getting attacked for cultural appropriation, whatever it is, and as well as what was the blonde-haired girl's name? Famous, quits at everything. Apparently, she's brave.
A lady. I don't know.
But all of those ladies, they would have made massive character development changes for the rest of their life if they hadn't have quit. This is exactly what they needed, where they could have said, you know what, up to now, maybe I've been an imposter. Maybe I'm realising right now, especially after seeing the lass that got punched in the face by the honey badger, realised this is real.
Yep.
This is reality. For once in my life, we're absolutely getting no discrimination. We're being held accountable in an open division where if we step forward, we're going to face adversity, we're going to face challenges, and there's repercussions of action. Yep. And it's sad. I think it's sad. Aunt Middleton said, my job is not to make you a better person. My job is to test you. You pass or you fail. They all failed.
Look, it's not anybody else's job to make anyone a better person. At the end of the day, only you can make yourself a better person.
Yeah. And if you get propped up all the time, when they get out the way, you may very well fall. That's why the Special Air Service wants you to train individually, so that you don't have a comfort blanket.
Exactly. They need, people who can think for themselves. Don't need to have their hands held.
Mm.
People who can push through. Guess who's here?
Who's here?
Name we haven't seen for ages. Pizza Parker is here.
Hey, where is he?
Hang on, I've lost him now. I'm sure I saw him there. Pizza Parker, sup, Kaz? It's been ages.
It has been good.
I saw one of your streams.
That's awesome, mate. You know what? There, Mr. Parker, Spider-Man, if you will. It is such a compliment when someone comes back to the channel. That's what I really like. It's one thing for people to be at the channel, but when someone goes away and they feel the urge to come home,
yeah,
exactly. It's excellent. It really is good.
So you're busy with your lives,
Mm.
So I can see a few people are a bit annoyed, because it is Chappelle has obviously split people with
And she bullshit a lot last night too. They called her in, called her out. It was a chance to come clean, and she started speaking smack.
But quite frankly, to be honest, the other lady, because I haven't watched the show, but I've read the news about it, and quite frankly, the other lady kind of annoyed me more. The
one with the dark hair and the braids?
Yes.
The one that lied multiple times to her professional sportsman partner that she was pregnant when she wasn't and received money. That was disgusting.
So who hasn't told a white lie? Yeah, but that's not really a white lie.
She should be in jail.
A massive lie. That's a massive manipulation. That's huge. That's very different than telling your wife she doesn't look fat in a dress. That's or telling your parents you love a gift that they've given you. That is a huge difference. That is, a massive deception.
Well, it's actually a crime, because what she did, she trapped him for financial gain, which is exploitation as far as I'm concerned. Hey, Angus Gray's here too.
That's great. Simon says Honey Badger is a quality guy. I have to agree. I haven't seen him on the show, but I just kind of like him anyway from what I've seen, in the media about him. Brought up from a family with a single dad, just an honest, legit guy.
One of the things that was quite weird was last night he hit one of the lasses. She took it well in the game of murder ball. And the DS, when they got together, they said, hey, look, maybe it was a bit reckless how hard he hit her. But they didn't complain at all the day before when he punched out the comedian.
If the lady's not complaining, and even if she
was fine.
This is this show.
Yeah, she was fine. Yeah.
So it's not their place to jump in and say, oh, little lady needs protecting. If she's fine, let her go. No problem.
I didn't know about that, Mr. Buccarini. He's saying that Aunt Middleton is a piece of crap, bashed a female cop in Britain and did time in the big house. Right? Maybe he saw it as just bashing a cop and doesn't look at gender. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, it's called SAS Australia, and it is not about SAS. It is a game show. You can't say it's not a game because, one, they're not carrying weapons with a qualification and with the threat of actually losing their life. There's not a hat badge at the end. They're not getting paid to do it. It's not a wage. This is not a snapshot of what SAS is. What this is a getting to the depths of who you are through adversity, through shock, and through repetition. I think it's a fantastic show, and I do like it. But it is an ego-orientated show.
Yeah, Sophie agrees with us. Honey Badger played as he should have. Anyone competing in this competition knows what they're signing up for. Yep.
Yeah, and he could tackle a lot harder than what he did. He's a professional rugby union player. He could hit a lot harder.
Yeah. RB Iceberg makes an interesting point about identity.
Yep.
The 3 that quit first are the people have had adversity based around a lack of integrity. Love how the show outlines the difference between guys and gals in physical competition. You know, I like that too.
Yeah, I do.
Check.
This is a show that should be watched by everyone, because everyone will take... This would have been a perfect Google Box show to see what normal people on the couch, reaction style, were commenting, because you would have seen a vast shock action. The way they were acting in this show is normal for the time when Lauren and I grew up, and for Mr. Buckaroony. The school of hard knocks, getting told the truth, only marked with red pen or blue, one way or the other, black and white, no in between. Honesty with repercussions for words said. And they're getting it now. You know, we're seeing that the gentleman who keeps talking, and I know how to do that, we're seeing that he's a loner. Everything he does, he gets someone else in the shit. He has been connected to almost everyone that's ended up quitting because something he has done wrong. And he still has a hard time taking responsibility, and everyone on that show seems to have a hard time taking responsibility for action.
Yep.
You know?
I'm a bit confused by a comment here.
Yep.
Anne A.W., who I think is quite young,
Okay.
said might try and go SF in cadets first.
There's no such thing.
No,
There's no special forces in cadets, mate.
Yeah.
Okay. For the guys and gals here, you know, because we do get a lot of cadet questions. You know, I've got my own response clip for when the cadets come up. Where are we? It's this one, I believe. No, it's not that one. Whoops. We've got a few different screens here for you, team, for your own enjoyment.
Your private movie.
That's what happens on the inside of me when I hear cadet questions. Honestly, this is to evolve you. We want you to evolve. Okay.
Yeah, and we love our cadets.
We do. But you come here because you want to hear about the next step, not the current step.
Exactly, and you've also got to know when maybe you shouldn't be, when you're in a room full of veterans, maybe it's the time to just listen and ask questions more than, sprout your own wisdom.
Yeah.
JC's here. He's just popped in for a minute. Hi, JC. It's always good to see you.
Hey, JC, Thin Blue Line. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope your shoulder's feeling okay too. Go easy on the donuts. All right.
Indeed. I'm with Mr. Buckaroony when he said there's just no excuse for belting a cop, and I do believe that as well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, what I was talking about with Bucko before, is when someone does criminal behaviour at a copper, don't look at the gender. Look at the fact that they hit a cop.
Exactly. Yeah, the same. And with a soldier. Yeah,
because and no one knows too much better than Bucko with that, who's done operational with military as well as operational as a copper, and JC too. That normally when someone is breaking the law, there's desperation, there's survival mechanism. There is something about them where they are responding from their inner beast inside. They're not necessarily looking at the gender,
Yeah,
Hey, Kura, there you go, mate. One thing we did put in here, was the tentacles, the Kraken.
It's a Kraken! Is my father-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, Calamari.
Thank you very much for that, mate. Thank you very much indeed. It's the best way to make your name turn green. Yeah, and it's great to have you here. This is the Forever Channel. This is a 20-year channel.
It sure is. Tasmanian Devil said, "Hi Kaz, I had a bowl of ice cream. How many push-ups do I owe you?"
Nothing if you've had an active day, sir.
Yeah,
You know, you got it. If you earn your afternoon, you're laughing. You know, there's a thing that the Jewish people call guilt bread. And what that's all about is earning your supper, earning your sleep. Because sleep feels great when you're knackered. Food tastes great when you're hungry. Earn it. Do something in the day that makes it hard. I put my bicep easy bar, bicep curl bar now is in the lounge room. Okay, because I like the anxiety of kicking my toe on it when I go for a nighttime piss. But no, that's not true. No, I just decided it's time to work the crab claws.
I'm sorry. Are you finished?
Yeah.
Sorry. Here's an interesting comment, which I think I've got an opinion about and it comes down to identity as well. Kirky has said, "Hi Kaz, I'm 16 and turning 17 next month. I'm going to drop out and go for commando selection because I know I'm ready and better than the rest."
It sounds like you're joking. It's impossible for you to get in.
Yeah,
it's actually impossible.
Also, you don't know you're better than the rest. That is not something you can quantify. You might be your best self at the moment, but you don't understand how good the other people that you're competing with are. So overconfidence will kill you in anything.
Yeah, and that's you've got to be a team player too. You've got to move at the speed of the pack, so to speak. It is a competition against you as well as what it is against them. But the people you're going up against, they would see that. They probably, honestly, Kirky, if you said that at recruiting, they would say you have a psychological problem, and they probably wouldn't even employ you. Be careful, mate. You know, just be careful.
Because you really don't know that you're better than the rest, and that to me kind of shows a level of immaturity, which is just normal for your age. But do be aware that you have that immaturity because you are young. There is no point getting older if you don't get any wiser.
Yeah, I don't hold that back against you, but you know what? You sound exactly like the guy last night that got everyone in the shit on the show. That they called him in and basically said, "Mate, you cannot reflect on yourself. You can't shut up. You're using words you don't mean. You're acting. Where is all this bullshit coming from?" Mate, the only way to become a man is to be around men. Men will turn a boy into men. Boys around boys don't turn into men. What happens is they end up taking each other down. You'll be fine, mate. Unless you've completely failed school, now is a very hard time to get in. You know, there is no rush. The military and special forces, you might even not even get a chance. The vast majority of candidates that go to join, remembering it's advanced infantry commandos for the scheme. If you go for that, you still have to qualify intellectually, and you can't improve your IQ by study. That's not the way it works. And from there, if you don't make that, you don't even get a shot.
Yeah, and we don't want you to fail, and we also don't want you to rock up and end up looking like a dick.
That's true.
We want you to have the best chance of meeting your goals that you can. And we always say, be cool, stay in school, and we mean it, because it is one step on your journey to getting to where you go, and it'll mean a lot in the recruiting process if you have stayed in school. It also reminds me of, and I know we've talked about this before, Kaz, those people you see on like Australian Idol and X Factor, and everyone's been telling them that they're really great and that they can sing, and then they get up there and it's just cringy, and they're shocked that they're not as good as their mum told them they were. And I think you really need to it's so valuable to get somebody who's bipartisan's opinion about where you actually are with any particular skill.
Yeah. Look, and at the end of the day too, it's a process where they want you to have learned through mistakes, through seeing other mistakes, through other people's actions. They don't want that. They're going to be, I don't know, they're going to run a eye over you and they're looking for those that aren't team players. They're looking for immaturity, and they'll cut people out of the crowd real quick. It's not about fitness. You have to be fit enough to pass, but that's a byproduct of working hard individually. There was a lot of people yesterday that there's tests that you can't pass. It's how do you deal with failure? How do you deal with criticism? We saw last night that the guys and gals ended up in the water because the young fella, 37 years old, he was insubordinate. He just saluted, smart ass, rolled his eyes, looked away, turned his back. If you did that in the military, if you did that in Special Forces training for SASR or Commandos, guess what? You would have gone before a BOS, which is a Board of Studies, and they would all say, what do you know about Candidate 11? And then from there they'd go, this guy's a no-go. Let him keep going, but we're not just going to pull him yet. And they would let you continue on. One, you might have a chance of getting back, but normally after you're blown your wad and giving yourself a bad name attitudinally, they're going to go, no, because it's a people. It's a people role. And it's the same in snipers. It's the same in reconnaissance. It's a lot more forgiving in a rifle platoon because it might come down to someone gets a couple of slaps around their head to teach them a lesson. But that happens on building sites. That happens in kitchens.
Yep.
It's saying that this is going to end in a second for some reason.
It seems to be having the beach ball of death. It's spinning. Lag.
It's going back to excellent connection now.
Okay, there we go. We're back. Yep.
Are we? There's nothing on the screen that I can see.
Wait, that's going laggy. Guys, is it working? Can you hear us?
We're still here. How long have we actually been going for? 27 minutes. It's got nothing to do with the verified.
Could just be laggy, lag.
Error. YouTube is not receiving enough likes to keep going.
Likes at fuel.
No, we're back. Okay, guys. Hey, Dino, lad, how you going, mate? Just let us know how that's going. It should be back.
Yeah. Is it working, fellas? Please. It's still on. Okay, now can we just clarify something?
Yep.
Particularly for Kirky, is it for him to go into the commandos? It's more than just physical training, right? He's going to need a level of maturity, a level of intellectually, he's going to need to be quite smart, right?
And maturity.
The maturity is a big one, and I think coming in and announcing that you're the best, you're not like other people, is kind of shows that he might be lacking a little bit in maturity. And I'm just saying that because he's saying, no, I'm the real deal, I've been training for 6 months.
No. Well, mate, they're not going to, by default, they will not take you at that age. You aren't even old enough to go on operations yet, mate. Yeah. At 17, you are not old enough to legally go on operations for the Australian Army. You have to be over 18. Even your parents can revoke your service by saying, I don't want him in there anymore, regardless of whether you want to or not. So just be careful what you ask for. And we've done videos on this before. Don't try and eat the elephant in one bite, mate. I don't have a problem with your enthusiasm. I'd harness it. I'd give you responsibility, let you fail at a few things, and then from there build you back up again.
Yeah, I'm just thinking possibly it's a troll because I just don't believe someone could be that.
No, I don't think someone would.
Blowing smoke up their own bum.
Yeah, I used to tell girls I was great in bed. It was fake news.
Well, I've heard you are.
Sleeping. I haven't pissed the bed in weeks.
Oh, goodness me. I think it was Sophie who was asking how much dosh was in the sack.
I'm glad you asked, Sophie. I was really surprised the amount of people that didn't look at that video multiple times. I kind of gave it away. What was the first hint that I gave in how full is your sack? It was on the cup. It was Donald Trump. What is he? He's President 45. So that tells you that the number is 45, but what's the hundreds in front of it? you're going to be very surprised. If you had a looked at the back end in the slow motion several times as it left Derek, like the opposite of Bukaki,
Hey, come
you,
on now.
you would have seen that there was a fair bit in there. The lowest, someone said $27, and I went, Jesus, are you 27?
Oh, because you and I were watching it and seeing it because we knew how much was in there and we were watching everyone guess.
Yeah, it was. I was just watching it, going, some people are a fair way off.
Yeah.
You know,
it was great to see Derek again.
Derek is here. Derek's always here. He's just watching. Yeah. Did we? Have we seen if? Hat is here. Bailey's hat. Is he here?
I haven't seen Bailey's hat yet. I could be wrong though. I missed Mr. Buccaroni before, so I could be wrong.
I put up a message last night that it was important that you watch the SAS Australia show because of the self-realisation, the activation of truth and learning the lessons of others that clearly didn't realise after several series of this show what they were getting themselves into. Yeah, I put up something to say that I wouldn't be on last night, so you could watch that. But what's happening is, I'm about to read it out now. So what happened was there was a guess, if you remember, if you're in the green at the moment, you'll always get a crack at every competition. You'll get a guess. We've got another competition about to come out very soon. But in Patreon, not only do you get the one-on-one ability to ring up and have a conversation, well done to the lads that just left on the buses to Kapuka, 23 and 24 platoon. But what you also get is a crack at the competitions there too. Now, we had one person, I did not expect this. One person saw how low you were all going and did a Hail Mary, threw the ball, boom. Do you know what he did? He split the posts. He went straight through the centre and he won both sides. He won the Patreon garment and he won the garment for the members. One person.
Yeah, he was clever though. I liked how he showed us his working out as well. I knew it straight away as soon as I saw his comment. I thought, oh, he's going to be hard to beat.
He did a group average, which is what we teach you in the Army. Mr. Buckaroo, you'd know about this, where we say it's not above and it's not below. So he bracketed and then said, what would be the average of that? Split it in half. Boom! He was right on. How much was in there? I'll put the eye on. Don't make me do it. $845. $845. That's how much was in there.
Yep.
Yep.
Some of you were way off.
Yep.
Some of you were really close.
but just not close enough. Now, I'll do a double take on that, but that name at the moment, you'll remember from the marathon stream. Do you like that eye?
Yep.
Can you, okay. The name is Aiden Ruth. Aiden Ruth, you've won both shirts. It's not fair for me to go, oh, okay, you get one, so who came second? No, that's not the way it works.
No, he fair and square gets both.
He gets both. He was the closest at the top, and he was closest below the 845. He went with 1,000 and 750.
Yep.
Yep.
And he qualified for the Patreon guess and the member guess.
Yeah. So he's going to have 2 gourmet shirts coming to him. Please don't eat them. Yep. I'll get rid of the Halloween eyeball, and I'll get rid of the psycho as well. Get off there, psycho! Get off their eyeball. And now we've got. Okay, that's what Aiden Ruth's doing at the moment.
Well, he should be excited.
He should be. I think he done an excellent effort.
Yeah, me too. I was so impressed with how he figured it out. And, know, like a school teacher, we like it when you show you're working out.
This is driving me crazy.
Let me know when you're ready for questions again, but I know you're busy.
I'm just trying to get that off. I was starting to freak myself out. Yeah, so can we get some thumbs up there for Aiden Ruth, please?
Yeah.
Whose mother thinks that, I look okay, but she doesn't give me views. Yeah, I get it. And the next bit of good news for you guys and gals out there, my heart is actually warm today. Really, really warm. Guess why? Hopefully, we're going to see it on Friday. Gourmet. That's not a very nice thing to say about the hound. Robbie Kent. We bought the dog today.
Yeah, so beautiful.
We bought the puppy. It's all about giving my daughter something that will be a offsider, a sidekick for her, because she doesn't have a brother or sister. She's about to turn 9 years old. This will be there for when she feels down. It will be there when she feels like she can't talk to anyone. It will be there for her to grow with and know that this will be in her life a consistent thing to go to in good times and bad times. Get her outdoors, give her something to love, something with responsibility. It just cost me a goddamn fortune.
Yeah, but it'll be worth it.
And for those in Patreon, in case, because it was nearly $5,500, if you don't mind, I used a bit of the Patreon money to help me get that dog. Cause
I'm sure no one minds.
I hope they don't, and if they do, I'll pay it back over time, okay?
Stick it in their ear.
Oh, puppy, it is such a good-looking dog. If I hadn't have been trying to get this up and running for you tonight, you know, I wouldn't have been able to get the footage, which is all on here, okay? But the unveil, I'd love it to actually be a handful of fluff that I'm holding on here. So people like Daz and people like Robbie Kent and those that feel like this is their go-to channel instead of TV, then it's fair. The channel just got bigger.
Yeah, it'll be great. Everyone can't wait to meet Achilles, I'm sure.
And that's the name, Achilles.
Question?
Yeah, go.
Okay, I've got two here in particular that I wanted to highlight, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Zachary is asking in a very mature way, hi mate, I've got a question. I'm 17, almost turning 18. I want to join infantry and then apply for SF. Is that the correct way to go, as I can learn the skills needed for the job?
Absolutely it is. And I'm gonna tell you why, Zach, and great name to have too. Zed. Yeah. No one gets to there on the phone, you'll get left alone. Zach, by going in there 17, 18, whatever, and going to infantry first, you know, at the moment you might think you want to go to SASR, but you might get in, go through Army, then Kapuka, and then go to the trials and tribulations of the School of Infantry, and then from there go, this is a hell of a lot harder than what I expected. Like 6 people right now at Kapuka that have just gone to Singleton and wanted to change their cause after they'd done their field in Kapuka, and then they wanted to change their jobs. So they probably wanted to go to SASR too. They probably wanted to go to Commandos too, but then realised being wet, being cold, being miserable, being hungry, not getting enough sleep, being uncomfortable, maybe this is not like the TV, and maybe this is going to be hard enough as it is. And that's even before they've started. Infantry. Okay, yeah. So you get to infantry, you get through successfully, you get your Skippy badge. Well done, Zachary. Well done. Okay, you get your hat badge. Boom. You get to the battalion, you're going to be sore, you know, you're going to need to settle down, get yourself a car, get yourself a routine, heal from training, make some friends, learn the language, which is military, okay, make some comrades, start training, have some life balance, learn about hunting men, okay, which is the job of the role of infantry, seek out, close the enemy, kill, catch them, seize and hold ground, repel, attack by day or night, regardless of season, weather, or terrain. And then from there, everything that you think, everything that you wanted to do in the army might change. And this is what can happen. You might go, you know what? I don't want to go to SSA at all anymore. Geez, I'm glad I never did that before. I don't even want to go for commandos. Maybe I just want to go for reconnaissance. Maybe I want to go to the 2nd Battalion Royal Australian Regiment. You are going to change as a human being. But until you make that leap through the hurdles, through that system, you're not going to know what you want, mate, until you get there. And we want you to do it properly to succeed.
We do. Yeah. And that's the right way to go about it. And he showed some level of maturity by accepting the advice offered by a subject matter expert and realising, okay, if I want to do this, there's steps that I should take to achieve that. Okay, are you ready for the next one?
Absolutely. And well done, Zach.
Yeah, young Dino lad has had a bit of a disappointment. He had his assessment day medical, found a hernia in his belly button.
Okay.
But was confident that it wouldn't be a problem, long story short. And then he said he can't afford to have it fixed now, so he'll have to go public, but it could be a year wait or more, which means he'll have to redo the assessment day again. But don't be too disappointed, I think, because I know someone who was recovering from a hernia operation when they went on deployment to Timor, so I believe recover quite quickly.
Yeah, the recovery is fast, and you do need to make sure you get rid of all of these things out of your life before you move forward. Okay, you just got a curveball. Some people get the training. Remember, God bless his soul, lest we forget Travis Smith, who got through all of Kapooka, all of Singleton with full-blown leukemia and then died after successfully getting into the 3rd Battalion of the Royal Australian Regiment, Old Faithful. So the last thing you want is to one day end up not making it to where you need to go. Look at fantastic Felix the Cat, wins everything on here except the shirts.
And I thought he was going to win the T-shirt.
So did I. Everything he touches turns to gold. He's lovely Lady Vicky, breath of fresh air, summer rain, as they would say in Dolly Parton's Jolene. But he was top soldier Kapooka, got to Singleton, was looking at coming close to top soldier there. The night before he was going to go and do his final exercise before the hardcore, bam! Why do I feel so shit? Is it COVID? No, it's not. What was it? It was pneumonia. If he had gone outfield and not detected that and then said, I feel really shit, they'd go, of course you do. You're digging for 72 hours straight. You're going to feel shit. And I'll tell you something now. Those people last night on that show, SAS Thoughts, most of those, if not all of them, would quit if they were doing the School of Infantry training, let alone SASR. That does not duplicate the SASR Carter course in any way.
Yep. I've got another cadet question for you. Hey, Kaz, if I was a corporal in cadets, would I be able to instruct at Kapooka? No. To be an instructor at Kapooka team, you're a senior corporal, okay, from the corps you came from, whether that be infantry, whether it be artillery, whether it be aviation. You're talking about someone who's done between 6 and 7 years normally in the regular army before they actually get that. And even then, it's not just about drill. It's also about maturity. It's about delivering information. It's about giving lessons. It's about giving constructive criticism, okay, and also being believable to the people that are qualified soldiers, grown men, some of them 40 years old, builders, brickies, people that are recapturing their life and then go in there. You need to be believable as an instructor. Yeah, for sure. And, it's all about trust.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Oh, Mr. Patterson's going to bed. Good night, Mr. Patterson.
Good night, Mr. P. I hope you're doing well.
We love you. There's a lot of cadet questions, blubber dubber, but we do have to appreciate our cadet subscribers as well. And like I think I saw Sophie or Emma say before, we don't know what people don't know.
Yep.
And rather than ask, and learn and hear the response that they're going to get if they rock up at Kapooka with that kind of attitude, it's better they hear it here first, and then they can adjust their sails to make sure they don't look like a dick when they get there.
Yep. And you should be around people you can trust when you be honest and get honest feedback. That's what this is, honest feedback. Ron was saying, without being Navy here, you're looking alive tonight, mate. Must have got some sleep. Not so much. It's because I feel light because almost every cent in my bank account went on a bloody cavoodle puppy today. But seeing the love in my daughter's eyes and also feeling that little bundle of joy, I can't actually pick up till Friday because the little varmint is with its brothers and sisters having a last play ripping the rug apart that I bought for them. So something really positive today, a lot of love, and I hope this is a really positive thing that really is a something for my daughter to love and to hold and to learn and to respect, Or after a month she might go, can I get a cat now? I don't know. Catman do.
It appears tomorrow for a hernia. So good luck with that. We'll be thinking of you, Yaros.
Now I want a kebab again. Yaros, you know, I love going under. I love it. You know, I love anaesthetic as much as I like watching the bot fly removal. Yeah. Here we are.
You don't have either of those things, do you?
Yeah.
Really? I can't stand
there it is. Wow! It's let's go for them. Where are we? You're going to feel so good. I tell you, I've had hernias before, and it is the worst feeling in the world. It's like one thing a lot of people don't understand either is what it feels like to have a hemorrhoid. That's when you do a little bit of growing up as well. When you've got to go and say, hey, there's something going on with the clacker. Can I get someone other than Ricky Martin to check it out? You know? I've got a mate at the moment who's got one actually that he reckons it's about as big as Sniper Wolf's bubble gum.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Bailey's hat is here now.
Bailey's hat. There you go, mate. We just read out who the winner was. I know you wanted to be the recipient of the shirt, but the recipient of the shirt is not even here tonight, and he is a recipient of the Patreon guest as well as the members guest. He got them both. You know, $845. The hint was the 45, President 45. It was on the cup, and the coins going in reverse was to give you some sort of third dimension added onto the spread on the carpet, the size of the bag, sack, olive oil, and also the reverse of those coins should have shown most people there was a hell of a lot in there. And there was $2 coins as well as $1 coins. So $845 was the number. Aidan Ruth, I'm going to need your... I'll contact him on Patreon. Yeah. But he's getting both shirts made for him. Excellent. Well done. Good effort. Attention to detail.
Yeah. Oh, Fugly said he forgot to tell you he had to get a 4-centimetre glass shard removed from his hand, but he's disappointed the doctor didn't let him film it.
What the hell is going on there? You would have already had more views just on that than I've had on my whole channel. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. You could have put it on the meme page.
I could have. He does a really good job on those memes.
Yeah, the meme Instagram is great. It's like literally the only reason I go to Instagram these days.
Okay, now you're going from up north, mate. Sorry, you keep ringing me, mate, at either an inappropriate time or just at a time when I'm either with my daughter or I've got my hand full of bloody something, you know, whether it be shopping or whether I'm in an actual shop or driving, etc. So no disrespect there, mate. Bronson, you bloody legend. Keep up the great work, brother. Do you mean me, Charles, or someone else here? Can we make sure that everyone that's on here now for the first time, can you do one of a few things? One, can you subscribe? Two, like the video right now. But what I want you to do as well is please ask a question. Put a thumbs up, you know, in as an emoji and a question after it so we know you're here and make you feel welcome. You're not going to find another channel which will pump out videos that are productions but also streams to give you context to the dickhead who's on this side of the camera, unedited, giving you answers to your questions, put myself bird on a wire, so to speak, canary in the mine. I want you to enjoy your time here. I want people to start thinking less about normal TV, okay, and start and think about what you can find and the continual pursuit of information that you'll find on YouTube. I don't understand how people can watch the normal TV anymore. Hey, Saber.
Yep. Okay, you ready for some more?
Yeah.
Sad Boy wants to know how many vaccinations do you need to get in the infantry because he hates needles?
Again, you're going to get more pricks than Rock Hudson, mate.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot.
You're going to get a lot.
Last a second.
You'll get a yellow car. You'll get a yellow book when you first get in the army. There's a couple of times where you'll get the most inoculations. One is when you get to Kapuka. Yep. Right. And the next one is going to be just before you go on operations. Right. And that'll be specific, whether it be Japanese encephalitis, whether it be anti-malarial, maybe booster shot or something. It could be a tetanus shot, whatever. You know,
exactly.
smallpox. Yeah.
Okay. Here's another question from Zachary. Is SOER a part of Special Forces, or is that a completely separate application process?
You need to be an engineer first, and then what happens is, then you can ask to go over and be part of the Special Forces combat team, etc., operational group, where you'll go over as an engineer and you'll actually get attached to them and then start doing courses. But again, you won't be, you're not a trooper, you're not SASR, okay, but you are part of their group. But the expectation is when you turn up that you don't embarrass the corps you came from. So they're going to expect you to be of the highest quality when you go over there. Again, put the you can keep SOER, Special Operations Engineer Regiment, whatever it is, I don't know, or Commandos or SASR if you're not doing direct entry. Don't talk about that with recruiting because they can't get you there. But when you say it, they might start to think, here we go, someone's played a little bit of COD.
Yeah.
Just leave it completely out and say that you want to go there. If they say to you, have you ever thought about going for Special Force? You go, as a matter of fact, I'm kind of special now.
Exactly.
You know, then that's different. That's fine. But if you go in there projecting, that's where you want to go. That looks like you're eating the elephant before you've done your hurdle, so to speak.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, Rob Kent is a cheeky bugger. He says, I'm a girl guide and I've earned all my badges. Does this mean I get to skip recruit training and get an automatic rank of major?
No, you'll get the rank magic.
I think it depends on how many badges you got. He said he got them all. So.
Don't try and win the race, team. Don't try and win the race because you need to be going at the same speed of those that you want to hang out with, those that you call comrade, brother, mate. You know, I want you to watch this show on SAS Australia Channel 7, Who Dares Wins, Ant Middleton. I want you to watch it because it teaches you so much about the human fragility. What are people doing well? What are people doing poorly? And what can you do in your life to be erring on the side of excellent? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make cards for you, freakos, that you're going to love. And I'm going to start sending these potentially out to people. And what it's going to be, don't get cheeky with me here, but just say this is the example. There's going to be an awesome emblazoned design on the back. But on this side, bam, is going to be those scores. Your PB, your personal best with the set of activities, exercises. And I'll get those laminated and I'll get them sent out to select people. And the whole point is roll the dice, beat yourself. That doesn't sound right.
No,
I want you to conquer yourself. You know, that doesn't sound right either.
No.
What I want you to do is I want you to keep your eye on the prize, that if you're the best version of you and your attitude is also saying, look after my team, you can't help but succeed. You cannot help but succeed.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do is be the best version of you. Don't cheat. Right? And turn up with the attitude to help the others. This could be the next 40 years of your life.
Yep, exactly. Okay. Shameless plug for the In the Trenches with Memes page over at Instagram. You should certainly go check it out.
Yeah, of course.
Kaz and I are always there commenting, so come and join in. I saw another question.
What's Anonymous Fighter? What's he asking? Hey, Kaz, is it really... Finish your sentence, mate. True that girls like men in uniform. Girls love guys in uniform.
Yeah, that's true.
They love you, but I tell you what, normally someone has let them down in the past as well. So what happens is, the sooner you get in the start of that line, the more chances are she's still going to like the guy in uniform. You cheeky bastards.
Right. Kane Higgins. Now, I don't normally, talk about Kane, but from some of the latest characters we've had, he's not that bad. He's got his COVID-19 results back and he's negative, and we're really happy to hear that, Kane.
Good.
Yeah, we're happy you're healthy. Where are we up to? Okay, so Bronson's saying, do you feel the Australian government is doing enough for our veterans? And Ruben says, the benefits people get are plenty. But here's the problem, Ruben. Actually getting those benefits, there's so many hoops to jump through, and some people are not in a position to be able to jump through all those hoops. So it's like a double-edged sword. The system needs fixing. There are benefits there for people, and they will keep you above the poverty line. But I don't want anyone to think that there's veterans out there sitting back, lazing by the pool because they're rich because of the benefits they're on, because they have sometimes had to fight for years and years to even get benefits that they really were owed for a long time.
It's a little bit like saying, would you be jealous of someone that fell off a ladder at a work site, busted their back, it's never going to get better, but they got $1 million payout?
Exactly. So there is a safety net there, but the safety net needs updating. And there are people who fall through the cracks, and sadly it's a mental health issue, and people who are having mental health issues sometimes find it very difficult, and they get very overwhelmed by admin. And I have never seen more admin than what DVA requires people to do.
I'm going to explain something here, and I need to be a little bit honest here, because, the question that Ruben was saying, or the statement, I need to be really honest with you here so that you guys understand exactly where we're coming from. I left the Army on the 27th of May, 2015. So we're looking at 4 years and some change. Okay, when I got out of the military, I was getting out for post-traumatic stress disorder with a relationship on the rocks, with a daughter I was about to be disenfranchised from. When I was getting out, the only reason I had a single cent in my bank account was because I hadn't taken any of my leave in 24 years. Yeah. And the other bit was because of the money that I'd put in before 1999 to as part of my superannuation scheme for, that was DFRDB, before 91, that kicked over before it became MSPS. So if I'd have got out of the Army and I didn't have those two, I would have had nothing. I would have got incapacity payments that I'd have to get back if I'd got a Com Super, A, B or C class pension, C meaning nothing, B meaning half of the average of the last 3 years you're on, and the other pension, being the A class pension, is 75% of the average of the last 3 years you were on. Now, that time to find out, you don't find out while you're in the Army. There was no one in the Army that could give you a single scintilla of advice. They looked at you and went, I'm not out of the Army. I can't help you. Exactly. And you're like, what do you mean? I'm getting out after 24 years and you can't even advise me? And they're going, we don't know. No one knows. Our job is to prepare for war. And I was like, what am I going to do? And I got out, and every day people are like, don't know. You've got to find an advocate, and an advocate is someone who works for free, who's normally over 70 years old, is knackered.
Disabled themselves.
They're disabled themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why this system needs some looking at.
It does. But the Army, it's not the Army's job. They're going to prepare for the next threat. It is another organisation which is DVA, but there should not even be a role that requires an advocate. There should not be something that is so confusing that it needs a volunteer worker to come and try to decipher that when they should be in a fishing boat. And the hard thing... Sorry?
Exactly. They shouldn't have to be picking up everybody else and trying to figure out the stuff themselves. Also, because the system seems to change a lot, and it's so hard. Not allowed lawyers. It's a very complicated system. We could do a whole video on...
Oh, look, you could.
Does that. Okay, Pizza Parker wants to know, what do you think of military imposters, Kaz?
Well, how about we leave that one alone, because that's probably going to be one of my next reaction videos.
Oh, so stay tuned for that one.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, Tasmanian Devil says, and he said this a couple of times, and I think it's a good idea, he's got a video idea for you. He wants to know about your personal history with Coca-Cola.
You just took me to a nice place.
It's a love story, isn't it?
It is. To some people, it's just a overpriced, effervescent, dark in colour. But to me, it's a beverage it's brought me out of dark places.
Yeah, he wants a whole video on it.
Let's just say it was there for me when no one else was. Like Ben Cousins, I turned to Coke in hard times.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I just to reiterate to people, we are glad that DVA exists and that it's there. But like all systems, it could do with auditing every now and then.
I want to explain something else too really quickly here in case the right people are listening.
Yep.
One of the things that causes veteran self-harm, I'll call it, is not because they don't want to be on Earth anymore.
No,
Normally
right.
what happens is when people have been through times where catastrophic situations have occurred, and then there's been a cataclysm of events, not just one thing, the straw that breaks the camel's back can be normally something small. When they get out of the military, they normally suffer through some sort of readjustment crisis where there is financial dramas. There's normally also substance abuse, whether that be alcohol. It might even be gambling. It might be misadventure. There might be a pursuit of trying to matter. You know, and what happens is when you are in a position where you cannot see a way out, what they are good at is about finding a solution to a problem. And
Exactly.
in the absence of any problem solutions, when you're actually getting attacked by all of those that love you as well, in addition, in a broken down relationship, something that a kid says to their dad, that might be enough that they go, the world would be better without them here, and that's what I'm good at.
Yeah, exactly. It's about like when folk feel like they're a burden and that people would be better off without them.
Flubba dubba. Sorry.
Big cow.
That's the first cow. That's the first. He's eaten too much grass. Hey, Kaz, got any book recommendations? I had 3 that I bought for you guys that were supposed to come from England that never turned up, hard cover, that were called Rome, you know, but they didn't turn up. That's one I recommend. Otherwise, I can't go past the book Magician.
Yeah, I've been reading.
I need to find out about that one.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Flubba Dubba. Magician. If you've never read it, that's from Raymond E. Feast. And there's about 10 or so books in the line. But it starts to get a bit bullshit after a while. But Magician as a standalone book is amazing. I don't think he expected to do another book after that. But it's really done a good job. I don't get time to read. I just podcast.
Yeah, something else I've been reading is I went back to Thomas Harris's books. He's the guy who wrote, Hannibal and Red Dragon and all of that. And the books are so much better than even the films. They're really great books.
Books are an amazing thing. And I get jealous of those that do and are well read because you get that inside information. You get to dig deep on a subject. But the difference is when you read as slow as I do, because I really enjoy a book, but then it puts me to sleep within 3 pages, even a Mr. Man book, which is not a naval novel. B. Stannis says Chappelle is innocent.
That's okay.
And how do you know that? The only person that knows if she is innocent is her.
That's right. Simon Powell would like me to ask you, did you see that Jordan Peterson is back on YouTube?
I didn't see he was back there, but one thing I did see, Simon Powell, is that Jordan Peterson has some terrific videos on how to be successful. And one of the things that he pointed out that I really loved, he brought home the point that I've explained before, that your IQ doesn't change. You can have things that tell you, do this to improve your IQ. Your IQ doesn't change. What happens is, as he explains, is you just get better at that game, at passing that. But then once you're tested again on a neutral aptitude test, etc., you will get the same result over and over and over again. Your IQ doesn't change.
Yep. There's another good book that if you happen to have a bit of depression, which is quite good if you're a reader, and I can't remember who wrote it, but it's called The Happiness Trap, and that can actually be quite helpful and give people some tools. Kaz, I've just got to take this big dog out for a wee. I'll be back in a second.
That's fine. I've known a few happiness traps.
Yeah.
Hey, lovely Leah, how you going, mate? Have you heard of Can't Hurt Me from Rick Astley? Who is it, Leah? Hey, team, how we going? Are we enjoying it? Does anyone have a question? If we can, what I'd like to ask you is write down, so when Lauren comes back from the canine doing its number one, what did you take away from SAS Australia? It's important that we talk about that subject because there's so many lessons to learn. You know, you will get several iterations, episodes, several chapters of your life where you will completely change. And guess what? You can't go back to who you used to be. You can't. You become a different person. And it's important that you learn from the mistakes of yourself or others and evolve. And sometimes that means separating yourself from those that are around you that are dragging you backwards, dragging you down. Don't let you be you. Okay? But you've got to be careful you're not one of those people to them. Jay Hayes, what happened there? Ruben, we're reading Romeo and Juliet right now in school. You hate it. Watch the movie. They should just watch the movie instead, as a class. Great stream, Casguardian 27. Excellent, mate. Thank you very much. Samaya Moore, David Goggins. Yeah, he's not too bad. I don't mind him. A little bit freaky in some areas. Probably OCD. Probably mental health, but it turns out well for him. Can't Hurt Me by Dave Goggins. Okay. Sorry I'm late, Robbie M. It's no problems, mate. Good to have you here. We actually miss you when you're not. Love it, other and friends. You need to read it, guys.
Did I miss much? There's the lovely Leah.
Yeah, Leah's here. She's always got the nicest messages.
You know, she's so lovely. She's actually quite uplifting to read her comments and messages.
If she was from UK, would you say she's lovely? She's lovely.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, she's lovely. What have I missed? Any excitement?
Look, one of the things about we're talking about Mr. Goggins and Jocko at the moment. I love what they're saying. I do, but the problem is the cult of worship, the cult of celebrity as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it can seem so insurmountable. You've got to remember these people have a psyche that is different. It's elite. It is at a level. It's not just cool. It's a curse. They are traveling at such a speed mentally that you'd be exhausted to try and hang out with them for a day. You know, you still need to have that life balance because it's the one thing that can be missing from people who go to special forces or a police officer once they start getting promoted, where you're so on the wheel that you can't escape, and that should never be what your motive is.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to pull Tassie Devil up on something they said. They said actors and models are fake as poo. Well, the actual person probably isn't, but you should be aware that their industries are all about illusion. I was a model right from when I was a teenager, and I really think now I'm probably one of the least fake people I know. So I think that you mustn't judge the person. You've got to remember their job is illusion. So if you can keep that in perspective, you shouldn't be fooled by them. Don't worship, especially Hollywood is so sanctimonious. They step out of their jurisdiction all the time. They shouldn't be telling you how to live. They don't have any special wisdom that they can share with you about politics or anything. They don't live in our world. And I think you do have to be careful of the cult of worshipping people who are just people.
And look, the dumbest decision you can ever make, if you are someone who is a celebrity, everyone knows that's not who you are. They're in love with the character that you are.
Exactly.
So when you go on Survivor, or when you go on Get Me Out of Here, or you go on SAS Australia, the first thing they're going to see is actually who you are. But what they're trying to do is maintain that goddamn role that is fake, like you were just talking about. So that's what makes them look like the biggest liar too, because this is not a part now for the first time they are playing themselves.
Exactly. And sometimes I think if they've been in the biz for a long, long time, I'm kind of glad that I, stopped and had kids pretty young, because I know who I am as a person. I think if you carry on that illusion and in that really fake and pretentious world, I think they don't really know who they are, which comes back to what we're talking about, identity. Then they end up on a show like SAS and they give up straight away.
And that's a really good thing. And I'll throw this one out here we'll say to Yonis, okay, if I was speaking to one person, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am. I am on a continual journey that doesn't slow down. And that is because all my life I had to readjust. My father was in the army. I had to keep moving from school to school, from state to state, and it separated, and I had to repeat because year 7 is primary school in Queensland, high school in New South Wales. So there was also an element of, why am I the oldest kid? I didn't realise I'd be 37 when I finished year 12. But, okay, that's not true. But then I went on and joined the Army Reserve. And then I went on and joined the regular army. And then I did that for 24 years. And then I got out and I did this. So everything was about being subordinate to a role where who you actually are has to be suppressed. So now I'm in a position where I'm finally outside the mold, where I can do and say whatever I want. And I did it at a time where the left has done an insurgency and said things that would have got them arrested 50 years ago. And now I can't even be honest in case it offends, despite the fact that it's based on wisdom, life lived, seeing operational scenarios, anecdotal evidence, my lived experience. I don't know who the hell I am. And the psych, every time they talk to me, I go, I don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Am I telling you what you want to hear? I catch myself doing it. Is it lying? Or am I appeasing? Am I trying not to be insubordinate? I don't know who I am.
Yeah, I think you think too much about it too. I think also because you're a real giver, so you spend more time thinking about other people than you do. You don't sit there and go, yeah, I'm Kaz. You're so humble. And that's one of the things I absolutely love about you so much.
Thank you, my model friend who can turn left.
I can turn both ways. I saw a question up here, and now I've lost it. Hang on.
Fighting the turret with Swar says the SAS show makes me sick. That's what happened when Armour Corps, even the thought of having to walk somewhere has made him vomit.
Kura is going to bed. Good night, Kura.
Hey, Kura, how you going? And thank you very much for joining us as a member tonight. Well done. You'll be promoted in 1 month from now. Great to have you here. Thank you.
Yeah. Zachary says his father served in all 3 forces for over 10 years each.
Whore.
Yeah, and he's been to 13 schools.
Man, that's someone who was trying to find himself hard. What order did he do it in? That'd be interesting. 90 likes, 2 dislikes. I think it should be 92 and 0. It's fine, because the people that do the thumbs down, they never leave a comment, and when they do, it's normally so bombastic that it's embarrassing. It's honestly, if you thumbs down something, you should have a comment to at least go, oh, the flip side of this conversation is that. Otherwise it's just like yelling at the moon. And if you're the only thumbs down with over 1,000 likes, it sort of says something about yourself. Yeah.
That's true. I don't know what Yunus has done, but he did himself a mischief.
Yeah, what happened there?
I don't know. Only Fugly knows. But there has been a few idiots. I'm just trying to think.
Called him. Darren Smith there's a good question. Darren Smith was asking, I want to know what was going through the honey badger's mind when the girl called him out to box.
Yeah.
There was something in there that really sort of upset me. If she'd have just come out and said, let's fight, I'd have gone, okay, because that's a quick way to get brownie points as well. But I didn't like the monologue that I've been fighting this all my life. You're going, you're in an elite women's sport. No, you haven't competed against guys. You're about to. And she met the honey badger and came with second best straight away. And that she feels oppressed because she's in a same sex. Go, no one gives a shit what your sexuality is. No one cares. You're not oppressed. If anything, you're probably privileged now. No one really cares. They just want you to be who you are, and we just don't know your whole backstory. We don't need to know it. You know, you're in sports, you're being identified for your talent. Good on you. Keep being yourself. Yeah. Stop putting crutches up for yourself, team. You know, be stoked with what you achieved.
Exactly. And I think, you know, credit to the lady. She didn't whinge or complain.
No.
It seems to be everyone else is whinging and complaining for her, telling her she's a victim. She doesn't feel like one.
Yep.
We need to stop doing that. We need to stop listening to people who are telling us, you're the victim.
There's no oppressed people in Australia, I tell you now.
No, exactly. You might be a victim of a crime, but that doesn't, it might even leave you damaged forever, but that doesn't mean you are a perpetual victim. Just like Sophie said, that perpetual victim mindset, because that's not going to, you're not going to enjoy your life if you always feel like you're a victim.
Yeah, that's right. Darren, I would say, if he actually did that boxing match after the boxing match where the guy, where Ant Middleton had said to him, you do not stop until I say stop, and he'd seen that the comedian, I thought it was a fantastic effort. And then he got basically knocked out to the ground. I thought they were going to let him do that and actually hit her until she fell to the ground too, because she wasn't going down. And no, they called it up short. So if anything, she was a little bit privileged in that one, because it was the guys, they let him keep attacking. But I would say I would not want to be in a position where I'm boxing on with a girl. One, what if I lose? But two, I've had it instilled in me, you don't hit women. So to me, that would be a very, very hard situation. The one who really bullshitted was Roxy, who has now come out not friends with her buddy anymore, because she's going, I couldn't hit a friend. You know, I'm going to tell you something. When I went to the School of Infantry, Sergeant Moffat was my platoon sergeant, and we had to pick someone, and we had to fight like that, but a lot harder, and for 2 rounds, with sandbags as the corners, and you had to fight. Everyone had to fight. And that was the same time as you were drinking beers too. And that was at the Stockton rifle range. There was no one, there was nowhere to go. There was no one to hear you scream. You were right beside a insane asylum. You know, so if someone screamed, they're going to think you're one of them. And it was just pick someone. There was no weight. There was no weight divisions. There was no, have you boxed before? Yes. Have you? No. Okay, go easy. Get in there and fight for 2 rounds while we drink beers like Vikings and punch the shit out of each other. And that's what happened. Yep.
Yep. Nito Mosquito says shout outs to 24 platoon. Spent their first night at Kapooka last night.
Yep.
Rude shock for a few this morning. How's the missus going, Nito Mosquito?
Nito Mosquito. Do you know what's really funny about that? I'll let you know, and I won't say the names. Some of the people that have been with this channel for a long, long time, they were in their quarantine hotel, and naturally you talk to each other on their phones, etc. And I told you, be careful about trying to start a friendship, a bonding experience, the tightening of the group of fraternity, because it backfires. You'll end up with someone that you don't like. You'll end up being too familiar. The cult of celebrity will be over. You won't see them as someone in the same boat. You'll see them as someone you do or do not like. And then you'll start to form little cliques. Be careful of that. Because what happened was, because they came from the same location, they were told, chances are, you're getting in late, that you're going to be in exactly the same room with each other. And when this guy said, what if that happens? I said, what you need to do is next time you talk to him, before you get on the bus to go down Diddy Mouth from the village, and go to where Kapooka is, you need to say to him, elephant in the room, get rid of it, go, imagine if we now get put in the same room to each other. I said, well, if that happens, you can't say we don't like each other to the start. You get on with it. You be professional. That's part of what it is. There's a difference between a leader and a manager. There's a difference between a friend and a mate. A mate is a temporary friend that will have your back 100% until You either pass, or one of you, or both fail.
Yep, exactly. Iron Wolfstad says, Kaz, what's the integration test? I've heard stories about it. Doesn't sound fun.
Integration test?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Integration test. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Is there another name for it? There might be another name for it. I don't know.
Yeah, tell us what it is, Iron Wolfstad, and we might know what it means.
What's Scotty saying there fighting the turret Waswa? We would place 4 tanks as a ring, and you fought for 5 minutes to sort out your differences. Yep. Scotty, in the 2nd Battalion, and I know it was the same for the 1st Battalion, in 2-4 area, on operations as well, if 2 guys were at each other's frickin' throats continually, what either happened was, or they fought in town, they'd either get them put in the boxing night to make them fight in front of the 1,000 people in the battalion, or what would happen is the platoon would put the gloves on them and make them fight at morning tea during work hours, surrounded by fridges, coffee tables, all sorts of shit, and go, get it out of your system now, you fight until someone gives up, and make them punch the shit out of each other. And guess what happens? After that, there might be some threats, but no one throws down, or they go to the squash court and someone realises they're a bully, and they get their nose put on the other side of their face that you can't put a bloody face mask and snorkel with properly anymore, and that got sorted out. Keep it at the lowest levels, and it works.
Yeah. He meant interrogation.
Oh, interrogation. Yeah. Look, I've been interrogated. I don't know if you're allowed to do it now, because it used to be take all your clothes off, get a female in there. That'd be almost be rape now. That'd almost be rape. They'd say that's no consent, sexual assault. But I don't know if they still do it. I had to pull my pants down, bend over. I'm the one with ulcerative colitis, blood coming out my bum. They were the ones that got shot, not me.
Exactly. But it's also, I'm in two minds about it, right? Because say one of my children goes there, I want them to, I believe that the Army has a duty of care to them, which includes preparing them for any eventuality. So if there's a possibility that they might be captured and interrogated, I want them to be prepared for it.
And that's true. You got to remember, this is not school anymore. You're going to somewhere where you're preparing passively in controlled environments to give you exposure to resilience training. It needs to be uncomfortable. It needs to break down any of your prejudices. We saw what happened. And I'm not trying to be a female hater here, but the women, their response to using communal toilets on that SAS Australia, while we're talking about the subject.
I heard about that.
Some of them almost wanted to leave because of that. You're going, really? Is that all it takes for you to start to reconsider if you want to be here or not? Do you think anyone wants to see your unwashed dirtiness? No.
And like you and I were saying, everyone's concentrating on what they're doing. You're not that great that everyone's going to get turned on by you doing a crap.
Yeah. I've stood beside guys that Ricky Martin and the most beautiful women in the world would look at and go, look how hot that guy is. I don't look down at the piss trough. I stand beside him and go, there you go, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, especially when everyone's focusing on the next thing they're going to do, I don't think people should rate themselves so highly.
No.
Nito Mosquito said his missus was with that mob going to Kapuka.
Okay.
And he said he's sure she's doing fine because now she's got the I have to go now, goodbye, rushed phone call. So I'm really glad about that.
And the only reason you're getting a phone call at all is because she's in quarantine and they're letting them have their phones. That will end when she starts week 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leah says, Kaz and Lauren, who do you reckon is the strongest female on the SAS? Well, I don't watch it, so I can't say, but I don't know. What about you, Kaz?
I think there's going to be a few fairly strong girls there. I think that I really like the one that the swimming girl that thought her ribs were broken last night, had a bit of a cry, and it turns out they're just bruised. I think she's going to be fine. I quite liked her. She came across as like a country sort of girl. I liked. I didn't like the female AFL player much. The one that boxed I think that was a strategy. I don't like the fact that she, sort of represented political groups you know, and made excuses for herself, you know, all that. I didn't like that. But I like her effort and everything. I like the one that fought Roxy. You know, she got in, had a go, keeps her mouth shut, 100%, doesn't complain, you know, does everything. I think fine. You know what? You don't like her, but until she spoke in the interrogation, I actually thought Chappelle, you know, had changed my mind a little bit. I still think she's guilty as hell. I do.
Yeah. Like you said, we do give people a second chance here. And she didn't become a celebrity, I don't think, because she sought it. I think she already had her face plastered everywhere and she just was one. So perhaps she's just making the best of a bad situation. And from someone I spoke to, apparently she was doing pretty good and they were a bit disappointed that she gave up.
Yeah, I was disappointed she gave up because I think she could have got the most out of that show. Now,
yeah, I agree.
One of the things they said last night too that I really, really liked, hey, Ben Pollock, how you going, mate? I've got a dog today, man, for my little girl. I didn't get a dog. I got a dog for her. Fantastic cavoodle. You know, $5,500. What was I going to say? The gentleman, I actually quite like the guys, the triad of guys that are there as the instructors. Ant Middleton and the other two guys. They look on, they look professional, they've got credentials, they're not actors. Okay, and they're there to make you search the inside of you. Now, what was I getting to?
I don't know, you were saying something else about it.
There was something that I really liked. Okay, yeah. The blokes called in the actor last night and basically called him out and said, you're full of shit. You're capable, but you're full of shit. The guy that was off Underbelly. And they... Oh, sorry, no, that was the girl with the braids that had lied multiple times about having a baby and entrapped her professional athlete partner.
Yeah.
And he said to her that his father said to him when he was growing up, there's two things that you should never be. One is a thief and one is a liar. But if you're going to be one, then be a liar. Be a thief.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
It was fantastic. And when he explained it, if you didn't watch it, and she's looked like what? Because she's a goddamn liar, you know, and didn't take responsibility for her actions. It really made me angry.
The way she minimised it, like every girl does it, no, we don't. It's not just a little thing. It's not just a white lie. That was an actual fraudulent deception. It's
a crime.
Yeah.
But when he said to her, the reason is he can get to the bottom of a thief and find out why did you steal. And it normally means you're a runt in a litter. It normally means you're in a survival mechanism. You're used to eating last, and so you have to do what it takes to hustle to get it. Yep. But he said, a liar you can never get to the bottom of because you'll never know when they're telling the truth, and sometimes they do, because they don't know when they're lying anymore either. It's their automatic response. When they have a car crash, even by themselves into a pole, the first thing that's coming out of their mouth is, it's not my fault.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't accept responsibility from what I've heard, or even understand the magnitude of what she did. And I think that was actually a really poor example to other young women out there, because lots of young women, I think, fall into that trap. They really, they might be going to break up with someone and they don't know what to do. You might think about it, but don't do it.
And she did it on mainstream TV.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just a little white lie. That is a terrible thing to lie about.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a lie either. I believe there was like a fake sonogram and that. So,
it's
this is fraud. Yeah.
2 seconds. 2 seconds, everyone. I want to speak to just my little girl to say good night. Her first night with the puppy.
This line is busy. Please.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't pick up the puppy until Friday. It's a cavoodle for those that have just come in here. A lovely little dog. My daughter didn't know she was going to get it. She turns 9 on Remembrance Day, basically. It's actually the day after. It's the day after Remembrance Day, but to me, it's always going to be Remembrance Day because her mum was in labour for nearly 24 hours, and it was only because the doctor hadn't come in to say, put her under the knife, let's get the baby out. So it would have been Remembrance Day. So this is going to be her little battle buddy, her colleague.
No, it's beautiful. gesture.
Such a good dog.
Yeah.
So expensive.
That doesn't make it a good dog. All dogs are good anyway.
Hey, here's one. We spoke about this the other day. And Zulu, what do you got to say here? With all the pictures of Epstein attending parties, talking to important people and generally socialising, it's obvious he didn't like to hang by himself. That's a funny joke. I like that, Zulu. But let me tell you something, Shaka. I spoke to Lauren about this the other day.
Yep.
You know, and we're not going to get ourselves in the shit here.
Yeah, stay in the flags.
Could you imagine if you had been to 10 trips to Lolita Island and the whole time you were there, you were like, who's that chick over there? And thinking, is that a relative, whatever. But you were there for the right reasons because it was the best goddamn parties on earth. You know, where there was trails of coke already on the bar, if that's what you're into, because you're a politician, you're an actress, you're a person of influence, and you know...
You know about the other stuff.
Yeah, if you honestly didn't know about the other stuff, how would you possibly now go? Because I'm telling you now, most of you people there in comments right now will be either accused of something or someone won't believe you at a time in your life where you are absolutely innocent and you're going, guys, I didn't goddamn know. I only looked at the one girl that I was in love with, Selma Hayek, standing on the other side of the bar. I don't even know if my mates were there.
Yep.
Your eyes going like this. As people are looking at you going, I don't believe you, and your lawyer talks, not you, shut your mouth, take it like a man. You're going to go, what are you talking about, dude? And then you start feeling like this guy. And then this is happening.
Exactly.
Because no one, including your own family, believes you.
Yeah, and because people say all the time, they say, oh, there's no smoke without fire. Well, there is sometimes.
That's right.
You know, and mud sticks, so we do have to be careful, like when we're labeling people, and we need to look at all the extenuating circumstances.
Yeah. There would be nothing worse than knowing you're 100% innocent. You know, how many times have you had a partner think you're cheating because of something innocent and you're going, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
But there's probably times when you did and you were never caught and you're going, yeah, anyway.
Well, you know what they say, the person who's accusing probably is...
Yeah, projection.
Yeah, Jay Hayes says, Kaz bought a dog, West Side bought an electric guitar. Good job. I can't play. I'm not particularly musical.
I thought about playing guitar a few times, but I know that I would have given up and it'd be in the corner that's me in the corner almost straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Kynem's here.
Hey.
Yeah, with a friendly reminder to stay in the flags. Hey, Kaz.
Senor Peppers.
I was talking to our friend Don Trump the other night. And I was telling him how I had a go at the virtual reality at the bar fight, the drunken bar fight. And it was great. But we both agreed that you need to get a virtual reality headset and you need to do some of the bungee jumping or the rock climbing on it after your little phobia video.
Did you know, when it comes to phobias, I am what you would call dirty jocks. It is so real for me. You know, when to know friends, a fair few friends that have been killed in helicopters, to have actually been there on adventure training when someone fell 20 metres and landed on rocks when I was in Army Reserve, to have been in the position where I was with Tony Bilston in the 2nd 4th Battalion on the fire tower, which is, it's only just over 10 metres. No, it's 30 metres high. Okay, so just over 90 feet. And when we got up there and they found out we were scared of heights, and they said, okay, put them up for forward rappel, we're going to get them over heights. And I'm like, that is not going to work. I had tears coming out my eyes standing on the top as they'd put the rear carabiner on and my harness, and we had to forward rappel over a ledge in front of the guard room while people are yelling out, look, he's crying. And because I had two of us up there at the same time, there's none of this victim mentality where you go, but I'm scared of heights, don't give a shit. Even better, I wish I had a phone so I could record it. People laughing. We were up there for more than 40 minutes before, and people had gone to lunch. You know, I'd already eaten enough humble pie. I didn't need to go. But I thought they would back out. They didn't back out. They said, "You're going to do it." You know, and I did it. Did it get me over heights? No, it made it worse. It made it goddamn worse. Hey, Mr. Bryce, bloody Blackhawks. Reversing camera wouldn't have helped him either. That's right, Mr. Bryce. Dry your eyes, Princess. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. But you didn't quite answer the question.
What?
We want to see the reaction of you doing that. We want to see that. We won't be able to see the fear in your eyes, but we want to see you doing it.
I better not be holding the puppy. I'll squeeze it as tight so it looks like a bloody turd in a clenched fist.
Have you got any more reaction videos coming up?
I've got a lot. I'd actually like to do, you know, because I'm really surprised they're not getting many views at all, actually. I'm really surprised not many people are looking at them. But that'll gain momentum as we do more and people go, hey, look, I might watch 2 or 3 in a row here or whatever, especially when there's some interesting subjects thrown in. And the reason why we do it, and I hope you like them, Jay, is so that's not just purely about military. There'll be links, maybe a storyline in between why that is the subject we're choosing. But what it's about is having something where not only military are coming to the channel, where people have somewhere to go, where they're not hearing the same question regurgitated, where they can find out that information. So as you get in the military, there is something in the channel that keeps you coming back for more. That's what it's about. Evolution.
Yep.
Dave D's here.
Dave D. Hi, Dave.
Stand fast.
Yep.
See you later, Pugly.
Barton Mouth says, Kaz, have you heard of strigiformophobia, a fear of owls? Is that just owls or all birds? Because I know a lot of people who are scared of birds.
I don't acknowledge that as a phobia. Wait 2 seconds.
Lucky you don't write the book then.
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hi.
How you doing, darling?
I'm playing.
You're playing. You know it's after 8:30.
Yeah, Mum knows that.
Okay. Are you going to go and see the puppy tomorrow?
Yeah.
I wonder what your baby's doing. Are you the happiest little girl in the world? Is it the best present?
Yeah.
What'd you name the puppy again?
You know it.
Tell me.
No, I don't have to.
You're online, darling. Let them know what you called the puppy.
No.
Is it Roxanne?
No.
Huh. Is it Billy Goat Gruff?
No.
Is it Achilles?
Yes.
It is Achilles after Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good looking guy. Well, darling, we're going to go and visit Puppy tomorrow. She's with her brothers and he's with his brothers and sisters at the moment. And thank you very much for having such a lovely day today.
It's okay.
I love you.
Love you too.
Can you
Bye-bye.
say good night to everyone, please?
Good night.
And thank you to Patreon for helping us get the dog.
Thank you for Patreon sponsors.
There you go, darling. I love you very much.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye, sweetie. There you go, team.
She's so adorable. She's such a good girl.
Yeah.
I love her sass. You need a bit of sass.
Yeah. You honestly, guys, you could have had a billionaire today, not Epstein, with my little girl when she came out of the school, and I said to her today, Aaliyah, we don't have any time to stuff around. We've got to roll out of this village. And she's like, Daddy, trying to run over to her friends. And I said, Aaliyah, and she goes, are we going to the shop? I said, yes. And she goes, why? Because she sort of sniffs what's going on. She's going, are we going to the pet shop? And I said, Aaliyah, I cannot give you false hope in case it doesn't work. And we turned up there and got the first pick. And straight away there was 4 dogs there, 2 black, 2 brown, all dogs of colour, hashtag. And she went, that one, instantly. And she picked it up, and to see her face, because she said, I don't want anything for my birthday if I have a puppy. All I want is something I can love, because she doesn't have a brother or sister. It was lovely.
Yeah. Counteract says, hey Kaz, just finished basic training. Cheers for all the advice, but a good attitude and taking it on the chin is what got me through each day.
Did you join the Navy?
Taking it on the chin. We're not talking about bukkake anymore.
Okay. Mate, congratulations. Can we get some thumbs up for our latest graduate?
Yep, Counteract.
Well done, Counteract.
Yep, fantastic. Nido Mosquito says, I'm absolutely petrified of moths. I've met heaps of people who are scared of moths. I actually love moths. They're so beautiful.
That has to be anecdotal. There has to be something that happened when you were younger for that to occur. And I'll explain this to you quickly, team. There is, I believe, primal phobias, and they can be fire. Okay, we're all scared of fire. Open water, we're all scared of being stranded in open water. We're all scared to an extent of heights, of confined spaces, and what's the other one? Anyway, I put them all down as primal. Same as deal at night time. Being by yourself, isolated at night time. It's all primal. But then there's ones that are, very isolated and very specific, whether it be moths, whether it be pigeons, whatever, which I call anecdotal. Something happened when you were a child, when your brain was still forming, and this has created an actions-on response where you choose flight.
But it's also symbolised too. So it's like when you're interpreting a dream, like if you dreamt of a moth and then Nido Mosquito dreamt of a moth, they'd mean two totally different things.
Yeah. Well, they would.
Everyone's brain is a little bit different too. So I'm not sure how it all works, but it's quite interesting, don't you think?
Look, it's very interesting. But the thing is, if you have a primal fear of the water, or you have a primal fear of heights or confined spaces like Scotty down there, and by all means, Mr. Buckaroony, spaces, okay, in the turret reservoir, fight in the turret reservoir, Scotty, confined spaces, Kaz, we're all the same. I've just done a reaction video. Make sure you check it out, Scotty, and I will do a reaction video. If you can find me an awesome video on any subject that makes you go of any type, because it has to give an emotional response, I'll do that for you. Confined spaces and those other ones are something that we understand in the army.
That's wisdom.
We understand it. But if you're in the army and you're scared of spiders, don't join the army. If you're scared of moths, whatever. We're just gonna call you a pussy and tell you to get out there and do your job, and no one's gonna have any sympathy whatsoever.
Exactly. I mean, you might not like it. It's way past Ruben's bedtime, obviously. Ruben, when are we going to end this stream? Well, you can go to bed whenever you like. I know you're only a little boy. Yes, he's only a kid.
Okay.
So you go to bed whenever you like. And to us, this is not a long stream. Not after the epic stream. Anything's easy after that.
Look, at the end of the day, it's 8:44. Let's go for another 16 minutes. We'll hit 9 o'clock.
We'll go as long as we want. But you may leave whenever you like. You do not have to stay for the whole stream. We will trudge on without you.
We will. We'll fight on. Water! God damn it, water! I really loved those videos. Those ones on SAS Australia. I really would like it if you guys watch those. And not alone. Watch it with people, because you're going to see people react differently to it. It is so rare that you see something that is open division, where everyone is treated the same. What we're supposed to be wanting from life, but absolutely doing the opposite of. There is real truth in it. There is failure. The fact that no one tried to convince them to stay, I think, shocked them. Do you want to go? Oh, sorry, I want to go. Okay, is that your final answer? Yes. See the medic. No one going, oh, you should stay. This would be great for you. Character build. No, you chose to quit. See you later.
Yeah.
What would these people be like if they understood? Because the word SAS, knows it doesn't have regiment on it, is used very, very lightly. Because if you go for the Carter course, what are these people going to be like when they go for something, for example, phobias? What about navigation, when they do the 4-day navigation in the Stirling Ranges? I believe they still do it there, where you might be covering 140 kilometres by yourself. You're not allowed to go over a road except to cross it if it's on your bearing. where there might be multiple kilometres in each leg, where you might not see someone outside an actual checkpoint for an entire day, that isolation can drive people insane, you know?
Yeah. Nick Maestro said, how do you overcome these phobias, especially if you want to be an SF? Well, you can. You're not going to like it, but here's the standard treatment for overcoming a phobia. And I know this because I have a real diagnosed phobia, and it is exposure therapy. But you shouldn't just try and do it on your own. There's no shame in just going and seeing a counsellor, because they can help you do like safe exposure therapy. If you really are terrified of something, they can help you do it, but you have to be exposed to whatever it is that you're scared of.
And they'll find that out. That's why they take you to heights, towers. That's why they make you do activities. That's why they make you take your hands off a rope and trust the man below on belay to grab you before you actually stop. Ryanopoulos was there. I don't know if you saw this bit, Lauren. How funny was it when the girl was saying she never fails, and then fell out of the show straight away, and then to finish that off, she also said she was proud of herself.
Oh, geez. See, that's the get a medal for tying your shoelaces attitude.
But the poor girl was the maestro of her own demise, because now she got absolutely eviscerated on her Instagram account, and she's ruined her own fame. If you were her partner, her husband or whatever, unless you're a narcissist as well, a vampire familiar, you'd be looking going, that is not the person I thought. You'd be embarrassed, and you don't want to be that way. So be careful that you don't expose exactly who you are if you're lacking, because nothing good comes out of it. You need to hold some of who you are hidden.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly. John Paul's back. He had to be Uber Dad. He just drives our kids wherever, whenever.
I think he meant Uber Dad as in like great dad.
Yeah,
you didn't buy a dog today, JP.
Yep.
I bought a puppy.
Yeah, he did. And he also loves solo navigation, he said.
Solo navigation. You will find that JP, ex-sniper, has got a really good sense of direction. I don't know what yours is. What's yours like, Scotty? What's yours like, Mr. Buckaroony? I have a really, really, really shit attention span, but also a really bad sense of direction because I've got a really shit attention span. So I have to do everything clinically. I've got my... one of the things they do these days, so they won't understand what I'm talking about, is we actually used to navigate. Now, they don't really navigate. Now what they do, which goes completely opposite to actually tactically patrolling, by looking at the environment and saying, this is where I believe the threat would be if they're trying to stay below the detection threshold, because for whatever reason, you've got to go cross country. If you go the way the water travels, the path of least resistance, etc., you don't just go on a bearing when you patrol. But that makes it hard, because when you're doing map to ground, you have to be 100% concentrating all the time on what you're doing, reading that map, unless you're someone like the turret with SWA, because when you're in an armoured vehicle and they've got their GPS but they've also got their compass, they're travelling so fast that it doesn't take them long to get to somewhere, then move back onto bearing, etc. So they can go and actually hunt for known information or artifacts that can go, okay, this is where we are, man-made or natural. But it's very hard to do that when you're on foot, because the perception is that you're moving faster than what you are. And once you lose your concentration, whoop, you got to go to the GPS. And it's frowned on to go to the GPS to know where you are for a lockstat, etc.
Yeah, exactly. Sad Boy says it will never go away fully. That's not true. Phobias can be absolutely cured. They can be. I don't know if they all can be, but there are people who have absolutely eradicated phobias. Tasmanian Devil wants to know if we can get a cooking video, Kaz, because I would love to see you light up garlic so you can slam it down fast.
I have what I believe is the holy grail of... can one more person watch? We're sitting on 66 viewers, which is 2/3 the devil.
You're too superstitious.
My house is a shit fight. If I'm outside the house, okay, I'll pick up litter. I cannot stand rubbish on the ground, but in my own home, it's like it's my own controlled environment. My mind is going so freaking quick. The last thing I think about is, hey, let's stop and clean up. Because I know I'm going to make another mess, or she will, and now I've got a puppy to blame as well that doesn't live here. But my garlic sauce, thank you 65, my garlic sauce I believe is the holy grail of garlic sauces. I believe there are chefs all around the world. I think it's one of the reasons why Mr. Bourdain took his own life, was because he knew that he would never be able to come up to the levels of my garlic sauce. It is the best. I cook prawns for people, I put it in the sauce, a little bit of black pepper, seasoning, okay, the scallions, the spring onions, it's so good, that even when the prawns are gone, you don't even realise. It's so
You've got
good.
to get video of that.
Well, I can do that, but that means I'm probably going to do the cooking videos when I move to the next apartment I go to, because I'm going to teach you how to velvet meat too, and after you do that, you'll never look back. It looks horrible. It does look horrible when you velvet meat, breaking down the enzymes using egg yolks. It's the best. If you're wondering, sorry?
I was just going to say there's a really beautiful message has come in from Miss Kitty.
Hello, Miss Kitty.
And it says, may God bless our soldiers and vets. Well, thank you for caring about them.
Thank you very much, mate. It's what a lovely message.
Yeah, it is.
We see a side of soldiers on operations that you will not see. We see the father within. We see the brother within. We see the little boy inside of that person when they go into a village and they connect with the families, with the children, the little things they do to show people through action rather than word that we are the droid you're looking for, we're here to help, and the wolf, is not welcome. You don't get to see that from the soldiers that always look like they're stone-faced and like, They're teddy bears on the inside. They're just after adventure. They're not going overseas to hurt people. That's just our job when we get there, if they stand their ground. It is absolutely lovely to see the human spirit inside soldiers.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. They all want your recipe. They're going to have to wait.
Sometimes you better start cutting because it's inside here. Fighting the turret Maswat. I hate that name, man. Scotty! I found map to ground walking easy because you could always reference features. In a tank is hard because he's a tanky. It's hard because you're smashing trees, bouncing around, and key features come and go without seeing them. Yeah, but you've got the hardest thing on the bloody battlefield, mate. You can go up on a bit of high ground and say, here we are, the beast is here. And you know whether they've got a rocket system that can come from 2,000 miles away and go and smack you back to Syria.
Yeah.
Mr. Buckaroonie, pineapple juice too, they reckon Kaz breaks steak down and makes it more tender. I've never tried that one, Bucko, and that had better not be a trick to make me pour bloody pineapple juice. Really?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And like Jay said, it makes an awesome marinade as well if you mix it with stuff.
Mm-hmm. Guys and gals, I tell you, let's see if this activates anyone here.
Okay.
Make sure you listen to what I'm saying before you jump up and down. And this is one you can say to other people and watch their face go crazy. It's a chick's job 50% of the time to be in that kitchen. Get in there. And it's the males, the other 50%. You both need to be able to cook.
Yeah.
Cooking is the best gift that you can do for someone else. Is to say, tonight, just come home, relax. Have a shower, go get a coffee, watch Australian SAS Channel 7. And while that meal gets prepared, so good. And only do it maybe once each a week. So that way 1 meal a week is from you, 1 meal a week is from her. You're both learning, and it can't be the same thing twice unless requested. And then the other 3 times have noodle box. Happy.
Hey, there's a red cow. Is that orange?
What's
cow?
going on there? Nathan Island. I'll throw this one at you for a second. Bam. And then we'll put this on top. Bam. What? I can't do that. What's it? No sunscreen there.
It's a kraken! Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, Calamari.
You're going to get both for this one, mate, because we've been scarce of cows in the paddock on this video, which is fine.
I accept.
Thank you, mate. And what's the question here from Nathan Island? Can we hear it in your voice because it sounds better than mine, Lauren?
Okay, Kaz, did you see the ABC News report today on Australian Special Forces on operations in Afghanistan and what supposedly happened? Look,
this is where they need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, look, I've had a big problem with the ABC and 60 Minutes at the moment. They seem to have some kind of agenda where they've been scouring through and looking for things to make our own ADF look really bad. And I think they're kind of grasping at straws at the moment. Look, to be honest with you, and this is going to be controversial, most people in the civilian world don't actually give a stuff what they do as long as they do their job.
These guys get asked to go in and get a job done, you know, exactly. And as it is in Australia, we know police, how hard is it for the policeman where every day he's got the same guy in front of him that hits his wife and he can't do anything about it because she says he didn't do it. When there is criminals amongst us that no one divulges and says it's them that does it. You know, you can times that by 10 when it's something overseas where they're actually wiping people out.
Look, frankly, I'd like to see the same attention that they're paying to the ADF paid to the prison sentences we give to paedophiles.
Yep.
You know, I'd like to see that much attention paid to some of the real issues that we have that they just ignore. Look at that pink cow.
I know. What's that one? That's... I don't want to say this. It's going to get me in trouble. There's a menstrual cow.
That's okay to say.
Nathan Island, please relax now, mate. I hope you haven't fallen asleep on the donate button.
It's a kraken! Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, Calamari.
Nathan, what do you say to that sort of donation? One, you don't need to do it. Okay, but thank you very much, mate. It's things like that that keep the channel. It's not the fact that it is a financial thank you. What it is a... Hey, relax.
Slow down, cowboy.
If you're out there, Nathan, wake up. Wake up. You're on the donate button.
You're leaning on it, Nathan. Thank you, Nathan.
Nathan, I don't know what we've done to get it, but, mate, thank you very much. And if it means that we've helped your life in some way...
Yeah, maybe he's a giver. He's obviously a giver.
As am I, as is Lauren.
I accept.
When you do that, I honestly don't know. Nathan, how would you respond to that?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how to respond to that because I'm a giver. It actually is like, can we get some thumbs up, some likes, and some comments for Nathan? Comments like, Nathan, what did we do to deserve that?
Yeah, Nathan, can we also just make sure you're not draining your mum's credit card?
Yeah, true too. Guys and gals, there comes times in this channel where you're going to realise by watching and being here that that's not a one-off that people do. What's happening is our channel is here, and not just me, not just Lauren, it might be Simon Powell, it might be the Turret Waswa, it might be JC, it could be Simon Powell. It is a combined effort, Jay Hayes, where Robbie Kent, you know, where the advice, the place we give people sometimes causes people to say, this is the only way I know how to say it, and here it is. But what it tells people that are watching is, especially if this was their first time here, what is it about this channel? What the hell just happened? What am I watching? I better watch a second one. You know, I'm blown away.
Yeah, Nathan has said been around for a long time, mate. Got my letter of offer for the 1st of March. Use it towards my March out ceremony. And he said it's not his mum's card. He's 27.
Well, I tell you what, Nathan, you know, we could have done this on the marathon stream, but all the money went to the people that went over there. But I tell you what we're going to do. That is more than generous, mate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make you the identical shirt that I'm going to send 2 of to Aiden, to Ruth, Aiden Ruth, the dual recipient of the competition for how much is in the sailor's sack. So what I'm going to do, I think it's only fair that you get to wear this as you train for March, Nathan Island. Islands in the stream. And this is clearly, okay, a feather in the cap of the channel.
Yeah.
Not just for me. That says, you know, we have got someone successfully into their calling. 100 points. Yeah, that's really, really, really nice, mate. Thank you very much.
Exactly, it was.
And absolutely no more, mate, because
we appreciate you. Yeah.
You just paid for a dog's paw. You just paid for the dog's paw. Shit. Nathan Island, well done. Look at the love that comes there too, mate.
Yeah.
You know, Dusty Rhodes says, Kaz, you owe Nath a can of Pepsi on the stream.
A couple of people have said that.
If
it's over $100, you should order it and have to drink a Pepsi.
I don't dance for views.
Do you love how we love to torture you?
And that was only because I'd had Kentucky, you know, the dirty bird, out of love for Aaron Dixon after his spinal operation. Yeah. But the deal's a deal. Thanks for calling it out, Dusty. I'd love to say I can't drink this Pepsi because I've got to go to bed soon, you know, but that ain't going to cut it with you guys. You know, and you just said you can't get over a phobia. Nathan, if you're still here, this one's for you, sir. Listen to the sound of it. There'll be no fizz whatsoever.
You're doing it again.
For those that don't know, I have a hatred of Pepsi. I even hate ordering it when I get when they say what drink at KFC. I'm like, Jerry!
Lemonade.
But it all comes down to that, doesn't it? Where are we? Yeah. Who are you? Here we go. Nathan Island, what have you started? Dusty Rhodes lit the wick.
Oh my gosh. You're going to regret that.
It's like a vampire drinking holy water. This sucks.
You've done it before. You can do it. Don't pull a Roxy. You've started something. Finish it.
Don't come out my nose. It tastes like failure. It's something I've tasted many times before.
This happens every time you drink a Pepsi. The donations roll in.
Nathan Island.
I accept.
Drunk Aussie. G'day, Kaz team. Been absent for a bit. Got a lot to catch up on. Drunk Aussie.
You sound like you're in pain.
I'm drunk on this sugarless sip. Drunk Aussie, this is for you as well, sir.
It's a kraken. Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, Calamari.
I'll crush you like this can.
I've just got to write down.
I should actually release that as a video the day he's made me drink the Coke, drink the Pepsi.
Apparently that's the third Pepsi that you've drunk.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that.
Second,
but it made me feel like this.
Gotta scroll back up from Nathan's PO box.
Guys, awesome. Thank you very much. Drunk Aussie, what have you been up to, mate? If you haven't been here, what have you been up to? Nathan Island, thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much.
Write this down.
Time out on that one, eh? Okay.
He's West Side.
Is he west side?
Yeah, he sure is.
He's west of the island. Leah's laughing too. You see? Leah might have a beautiful accent to her typing, but there's an evil Hillary within. Watching me suffer. She's. Where's Fugly? This would make a great meme. He missed out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Pilbara. Represent. You guys know about heat. You know, the Pilbara Regiment. Oh, God. Do you know I've never been over west?
Yeah, I do know that, and I think we need to rectify that one day when they open back up. I think.
For those guys and gals that don't know, my fantasy used to be women, used to be freedom, used to be in the military forever as the fitness test got easier and easier. You know, but it's now I'm going on to my second life in the cadence of who are you, as well as SAS thoughts. You know, I'm starting to find out who I am. I'm a vagabond. I am the German Shepherd from the littlest hobo. I'm not meant to be held down. I go crazy. I want a camper van. I want to take you guys with me everywhere I go. Not actually in the Scooby-Doo bus. But I want this to become a channel you guys go, remember when he only used to talk about army? Do you remember when he used to nutsu cow? I want to put the most beautiful men and the most beautiful women in the passenger seat and talk to them, as I say, with the indicator on, onto a dirt road. Have you seen Wolf Creek?
Seen any films lately?
Yeah. Guys and gals, this is the step away from mainstream media. You know, you choose what you absorb. And the fact that we kind of know each other and we're from Australia, you know, and it's very hard to be an Australian YouTuber. You know, we kind of get sort of throttled a little bit. You know, you could say, what about Youngbloods? He's got a Picasso as a backyard. You know, he really has, you know. But I'm just a dude, floating head, my father's looks, you know, a bit of a smart ass, probably a little bit of you, probably a bit of me in every one of you.
Yeah, well, yes.
You should be proud of yourselves being Australian, but we need to remember, Australians are never victims. Australians help their mate.
Yep, we do.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what we do.
Tasmanian Devil keeps asking, can you visit Tasmania someday, Taz?
Tasmania is on my list before Western Australia.
Yeah, because I'm going to hitch a ride with you across the Nullarbor.
That's not Tasmania.
No, you come here, pick me up, and I'll come with you across the Nullarbor. You can drop me off at my sister's house.
You want to pick you up? Do you come here often?
Yeah.
Hey, what's that last one there? Your eyes are better than me.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, we've got two. We've got Donkey. Is it Bong? My eyes are shot, team.
Okay.
Hey, Kaz, I recently did my online aptitude test. Can you read out the rest of that one, please?
Yep, hang on, let me find it. Hang on, because you're... Okay. Donkey Bong, hey Kaz, I recently did my online aptitude test. Hoping to get an interview soon. Going for infantry, the only thing I'm worried about is that my high school grades aren't that great.
Your high school grades aren't important. Did you get a pass in year 10 English and maths? That's important. Your aptitude test, you can train for aptitude tests, but you can't actually increase your IQ. Your IQ, however, will fall with age through lack of fitness. A lot of people didn't know that. The less fit you are, as you get older, your IQ drops because the oxygen is not going through your brain and keeping it activated and fertilised. Found that out today.
Yeah. Do you know how come I can read these and you can't?
Why?
Because I'm actually wearing my glasses.
I have my glasses on, as you can see, and they make no difference.
All right, here's one. Yahweh has remembered, asked, wanting to apply for clearance diver.
Okay.
What should I apply for first so I have the opportunity to work on and improve my capabilities and skills, or should I just apply to be one?
Just apply to be one. It's like Special Forces Navy. Okay, you just go there and you go for it. It's a bloody hard course, and you want to be able to do more than 60 push-ups, mate. Use my 3-second cadence and keep working on that. There'll be a lot of courses. Watch all the YouTube videos on clearance divers of all different countries to get a little bit of a summary on what's required, left stick, right stick, etc. And then stay on this channel and we'll talk in between.
Yeah. Jaundice Cow from Nido Mosquito.
Hey, Nido Mosquito. Does your missus know you're spending her money back at home, mate?
I'm sure she'll be all right.
About time I threw you a tenner for all your help and phone calls. $10 is $10, as Simon Powell would say. Over 2 years ago when I enlisted. Trust the process, guys. You'll get there. Let me say something about that one.
Okay.
With Nido Mosquito saying that to you,
It's a kraken! Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari.
sorry about that. We occasionally get people that come to this channel for one stream and one stream only, come in here and they don't understand because they don't stay long enough, and they end up doing a down thumb because they just hear the version of my personality. But when I see a message like this from Nido Mosquito, this is someone who's in the military. This is someone who's actually wearing the uniform, has passed their training, and is telling you exactly what I'm telling you, that it's worth it, that they're there now, that they're stoked. And now he's got his missus in it. He wouldn't want that if it wasn't legit, if it wasn't the real deal, if it wasn't a great way to find out who you are. Because you will not find who you are while you're an apprentice. You won't find out who you are when you're at university. All you'll do is qualify at something. You have to go through adversity. And I'm not just talking about being cold and wet on a rooftop. You know, there has to be areas where you get told, and maybe you can, as a roofing guy, you know, who's getting yelled at by a bloody tradie in winter, and that hardens you up and you learn to keep your mouth shut and do the job and don't look at your watch, don't look at your phone and get it done. But nothing hard reboots the system out of you than the military, Navy, and Army mainly. Okay?
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Nick Meister says, Cass and Lauren, do you have any thoughts and tips about being an Army helicopter pilot?
I don't look intelligent enough to help you with that.
Yeah, but I would just say you're going to need to be pretty clever because I'm imagining that it might be quite competitive.
Well, absolutely, and the training can go for a long time. You, when you go to, I'm not sure where you are in the mix of where you've got to, but
Yeah.
Not only do you have to qualify, okay, to unlock that, but you also need to be an officer, okay, or you'll do the testing before you end up going to RMC, etc. There'll also be a ROSO, return of service obligation, all that sort of stuff, you know, but you have to pass that test and the aptitude test to be able to do that, which is not easy, and then pass the training, which is not easy. What's weird about it is almost anyone can go and get a civilian helicopter license. Is that a little bit freaky, Lauren?
What, that anyone can...
So we have heights, we have an ability checklist that you have to be above this intellectually, you have to be like this IQ, you have to be like this ability to do sustained study, you have to be able to become the officer, you have to do all of that to become a helicopter pilot within the Australian Army and actually do that. But to become a civilian pilot, you don't necessarily have to pass anything other than the physical and theoretical tests.
Yeah, that's
if you can afford the ticket.
Yeah, but it might be totally different, like than flying joyrides for people.
The warrior mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably a whole different kettle of fish. What you've got to do with your machine in the army, I'm guessing. Nathan Island is off, so good night, Nathan. Thank you so much.
This is not insubordination, Nathan, like the gentleman on. Okay. Australian SAS. Who dares wins Channel 7. Thank you very much, mate. What can I say? You're going to love the shirt. It's coming to you. I'm not going to tell you what the design is, but you need to text me, man, and tell me what your size is, you know, and what colour you like to wear the most. Awesome.
Yeah, I've got his PO box.
Sorry?
I've got his PO box.
Oh, awesome. Okay, we'll sort that one out.
Yep. And sorry, I've just been figuring out your Western Australian itinerary with everybody in the chat. So we've got it all squared when you head over to WA.
Here's one for WA for Jay Hayes and something that he may not have known yet. Jay, naturally I've been getting into a lot of shares lately on the ASX. And some of the things that has been getting said by the Red Gentleman, the Commander-in-Chief, is that next year is going to be, when he gets in, is going to be a bumper year for the US economy, the biggest in history economically. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a pretty broad statement, unless he knows something that's coming in that he hasn't shown you yet. Now, after watching videos last night and the night before on the new monetary system they're looking at backing it with gold potentially again. Across the world at the moment, if you're in zinc mines, copper mines, all that sort of shit, it's very hard for them to get excavators because everyone's moving towards gold. And the expectation is that gold could go up to, and this is completely fake news I'm talking here, because I'm just going off what I saw. They're saying that they believe that gold could get up to $15,000 an ounce.
Ouch.
So that means the people that are in the gold at the moment are really, really trying their darndest to get hold of this and start the churn. If it hits, it hits. A gold mine in Australia yesterday hit gold, and it went from 3 cents a share to 11 cents a share. Now, 0.1 of a cent is enough to make it go up in increments of how many you have. If you have 1 million shares that you bought for a fraction of a cent yesterday, like 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, it was $1,000 per pip. It went up over 73, and that was just off some initial some initial drill findings. That's not even getting gold out of the ground. That's not even a plant set up yet.
Yep, that's
so
great.
we are in a time, this is the longest our monetary system has ever gone without being broken. And that's nearly 49 years, nearly 50 years. So we're going to have so many things. We've got 5G. We've got technological leaps in electronic vehicles. We've got apex intellects in the private industry that are competing against each other. And it's similar to when superpowers fight each other in a war. The sadness and the tragedy is of those that fall in the war. What comes out of it is normally a technological explosion.
Yeah, we get a boom. Of all sorts of things. We sometimes even enter a golden age.
That's right.
There's some comments to catch up on, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, JP thinks there was a guy in 12 Platoon that had his MiG fighter ticket.
There was.
There you go.
There was, and he ended up crashing it.
Oh.
He was, I'm trying to think what his name was. He ended up being, he used to go and do the exposés where he'd go and fly the jet for them.
Yep.
He ended up being the operations sergeant at the 2nd Battalion. And he went on one of the forays on this with this jet, and we've got a problem, Houston. He was fine. Bailed out. The jet exploded, destroyed. Yeah, sorry. I guess I'm not coming back next year. Yeah, probably not.
Catonius is here.
Hey, Catonius, our favourite Roman. How you going, mate?
Yeah, exactly. And Dusty says, hey, Kaz, can we have the list for the 2nd of November intake with me on it?
Okay. Where are we? I've done some cleaning up here. Let me get that to you. And on Friday with the puppy, I'd better have the puppy here, and I'll get that for you, mate, because I can't actually see where I've cleaned up. Wait a sec.
Well, and Tasmanian Devil just wants to know if they'll be able to buy T-shirts before Christmas.
Before Christmas? I don't know. Look, we've got to keep coming back to that one, because at the end of the day, it's costing us nearly $70 a T-shirt. I can do the old shirts that I've got with it in the trenches with Kaz, in the trenches on the back, black shirt. We can do that. Maybe we can get a, but they try to charge $500 just to make the print that they're going to put on that shirt, which is absolute robbery if you know anything about shirt printing. I don't know, to tell you the truth. So we've got Paul Allen, and we've got Aaron. Aaron is going on November the 2nd. On November the 2nd, they're going.
Yep.
There'd have to be more than that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put another video out calling for those that are going, okay? And I'll do that in the next couple of days for you.
Yep. No worries.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yep. I think that's a good idea. Let me have a look.
Internet of banking is next, which is crypto. Look, I get that, Scotty, but I believe that what's going to happen is they're going to go back to it has to have backing again. Because at the moment, our cash has disappeared from being backed by gold. The gold is not there anymore.
Yeah. Good night, sad boy.
Not sad, boy.
Yeah.
Don't be sad. I'll put my puppy in Glad wrap and send it over, hug it, then send it back.
No, don't even say that.
Gaming Tyson.
Good night, Rob Kent. He's off to bed.
See you, Master of Hounds.
Yeah, is Simon still here? Because I actually want to make sure that he got that delivery delivered the other day.
Oh, yeah. When I went to go and deliver the Fitbit, and he's, no, got a job to do.
No, his special delivery of the horse semen.
What? Is that what it was?
Yeah, that was a different one, I think. Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
Horse semen. I can't believe you missed it. It was a lot.
I'd run a blue light over it just to see if that works.
Yeah.
The crime scene light.
Well, no, just stop. Here's Mick Lay. Hi, Mick Lay.
Hey, Mick Lay, how you going, mate? What did Gaming Tyson say there?
Hang on, let me have a look. Gaming Tyson. This might sound a bit weird, but I can't run anymore. It's been so long. Every time I go to run, I can't. Any tips that you can give me to help? Well, I'd say what's stopping you? Is it in your mind? Are you losing motivation, or is it something physical?
Okay, yeah, that's true. What I'd do, if I was you, Gaming Tyson, is you need to get a 2.4 kilometre track. This is what I'd do. A 2.4 kilometre track, do it in your car, okay? Put it outside your door so there's no excuses. It'll become an OCD. You know the start point is outside your door. Quick spray of white paint on the road, no problems at all. And then from there, drive 2.4 kilometres on the taco in a predominantly flat, safe environment. Okay, 1.2 kilometres from where you live. At the 1.2 kilometres, line on the path and make that the turnaround point. Okay, what you need to do is your first goal is to run 2.4 kilometres. Doesn't matter if you walk. If you get to positions where you slow down, you walk. The next time you go to 2.4, you got to beat that. You got to beat that time. The next time you go, you got to beat that time. Before you know it, you'll have run the whole 2.4 without stopping. And that's your first one. And then you do it quicker. And you do it quicker. But how about you do it once a week? Go for another jog where you don't measure the distance. Jog for fun. Drive somewhere and go where it looks good, where it's cool, where there's water, where it just feels right. And make sure you've got some good shoes. You're dressed for the climate, singlet if you need to. Hydrated 40 minutes before, so you don't need to have a drink on the run. And then just you versus you. Hey, from Japan, Mick Lay Motors.
Yeah, guess who else is here?
Who's?
Jody Stevens.
Jody Stevens from the USA. What's going on? We've got Japan, we've got USA. You aren't fighting anymore, please. It's actually, it's like Nutsu Cow for Mick Motors because it's an Australian in Japan, the White Warrior.
I accept.
Hey, how you going, Jody? I'm looking at you.
It's always nice to see Jody here.
Jody, I hope you liked your photos the other day, and I hope Ohio, is happy with you and Maddie. I think common sense is going to prevail. I think you're going to have a bumper year, Jody. I think you've got some good times coming your way, and if your dollar ends up being parity with the Australian dollar, There's no reason why I can't come over and see us. Just don't tell Ed. Okay, I'll see Ed as well. You know what I'm talking about.
Ed as well.
Yeah, because Ed's just got a brand new puppy too. There's something in the wind.
Aww.
Leah, I don't know if you guys have met each other. Jody, USA, Ohio. She's not hot. She's not. Doesn't mean she's high. Okay, and Leah, Leah is another one of our well-spoken, well-typed ladies in the chat too. Leah, Jody, Leah. There you go. Achilles still sounds cool. Thank you, Leah. What everyone thinks that I was the one that gave Leah the name for Achilles for her dog. It was her name. She'd watched Troy and clearly was smart enough to know that Brad Pitt's a pretty hot-looking dude. She used to love Leo from Titanic, but he drowned. She doesn't like losers.
Yeah, no, she's a smart girl.
Mr. Bryce is saying, Luca, you could be deployed at some time, but not for a while. If I say unless something really bad happens.
Yeah, bye, yes, Bryce. But Luca got timed out for a spam. We don't mind you repeating your questions, but not like one after another. That's not going to make us read it out.
What's Judas saying there? He said the media today is trying to smear Aunt Middleton. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Judas was just saying that the media is attacking Aunt Middleton. The media is really, really good at being your best friend when you're in the military, trying to get embedded, trying to go where you are, where the excitement is, where the story is, at the same time hot micing soldiers in the background to make a smear later.
Yeah.
Now,
whether you're in the military or not, the media are good at doing that. Don't trust them. I'd say if anyone's learned anything, just they can't be trusted because they don't really care about you.
They're attacking at the moment Ian Turner, who lost his life on the same day that Jodie Stevens lost her lovely son. And you know,
made me so upset. They should never have been allowed to name names. That is an awful thing to drag someone through the mud posthumously. Yeah, that's right. You know, and especially when it is the hitting of the hammer on the anvil to create that blue flame warrior. That when he doesn't conform to, and I don't go into it because I don't want to know. He was a friend. He was a friend. Doesn't have a right of reply. That's hardly logical, fair, or ethical.
Yeah, and I know some aspects of the story that aren't being brought up too.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what makes me angry, you know.
But frankly, it was the fact that the media went to special lengths to be able to release the name. Now, I don't know why that was even relevant or important. There was no reason to do that. It was cruel, it was heartless, and I think it just disenfranchised people from the media more. Yeah, it does. Look,
and it's sad to see. Third time joining the stream tonight. Jet. Billy, Benny and the Jets.
Yeah.
Jodie's doing Quell. Isn't that the sleeping tablet? No, she's doing well. She's doing swell. Yeah, they were great. That day, Jodie, I tell you what, I made it to that sunset by 2 minutes. You could have heard me yelling and swearing at nature that to drive down to Kiama to get those photos. And then I started to feel car shit going through the mountains, even though I was the one driving. I felt like going, dude, I do not deserve me rank.
Yeah. Could I just say, look, it is okay to repeat your questions, guys, but don't spam them. If Kaz and I don't get to them, put them in the comments below the screen after the stream has uploaded.
That's the easiest way.
That's the easiest way. Yeah, it sure is.
Alex was saying he's glad he could drop in even late. Look.
Yeah, we're glad you dropped in.
It's fine. I am time rich in a lot of ways, but it's just fragmented, whether it be speaking on the phone, whether it be writing a comment, whether it be giving someone their bat phone number and regimental number that's in Patreon, whether it is counting who was closest to getting what's in the sailor's sack, whether it's buying a puppy, whether it's talking to Lauren, whether it's living my life, whether it's going to a doctor's appointment. It's manic. It really is. There is no routine to what I do. I work in surges, and I disappoint at times, and I apologise for that. But if you're on this side, you'd be going, "You're crazy, dude."
Yeah. Good night, Bailey.
Hey, Bailey's hat. Sorry you never won, mate. I know that you thought you had to win a number, didn't you, mate?
Damn. Elliot Brebner says, "Hi, Kaz. Appreciate your bids, mate. Done my youth session and down to the recruiting office on Friday to choose a role, and he's bloody keen."
It's do it right. Do it right. You know, and mate, if you need to, jump on Patreon and let's talk before you get to that moment, so you can go in there going, "This is where I want to go, and this is why, and this is what I'm going to be." And I really wish that everyone that joined the military went in there with two thoughts. One of two thoughts. One, I'm going in there for 4 years only, and at the end of that 4 years, I am going to, bam, like the thumbnail says, I will know who I am.
Yeah.
Or at least I will create a basement, a level of character foundations where there is an absolutely line in the sand where you went from being a child or young adult to a man. There's a difference between an adult and a man.
Yeah, and that line in the sand is really important. Everybody should have one of them.
They should.
Because if that young woman from that show had a line in the sand of, there's certain things I'm not going to do in my life, you know, she wouldn't have ever been in that position. And I'm pretty sure now she's carrying some shame. So if you set yourself a moral line in the sand, you don't even have to be religious or spiritual to do that. But if you set yourself a moral standard and stick to it, you will be a long way ahead of a lot of other people. Tasmanian Devil wants a damage report from the Pepsi.
I feel a little bit of cotton mouth. I feel like my teeth are going to turn on me now. I normally use my Coca-Cola as a cleaning ritual discipline. And now I feel like this substandard US propaganda for a drink has crept into my soul. It's like that's illegal immigration right there. We're not a Pepsi country.
No, and we're certainly not a Pepsi stream. Luke Craig has said this stream is so interesting, but he has to go to bed. Good night, Luke Craig.
Luke Craig, I've got one more for you, mate. Keep watching this before you go. Just for 2 seconds. This is for you, Luke Craig, and I love what you did in 007. Great job. Mate, look at the guy on the thumbnail. The guy that's carrying the Minimi, the M4 249. That guy in that photo used to be a baby, he used to be a boy, he used to be a teenager, then he was a young adult, okay, and he became a man. That guy there is the same as you guys.
Yeah.
But he gave it a chance. He made no excuses. He signed a piece of paper and he went into the fog of war. And that's him now. Our country has a lot of people like that. All they've got to do is trust that when they follow the footsteps of the Anzacs, that there is a better version of them that is waiting. And even if you fail, you will still be better than what you were without trying at all. Who dares wins is a really valuable motto. It really is, because better to try and fail than to not try at all.
Yeah. Luca Moses, his question is, I was thinking about joining the army, most likely as an infantry soldier, but I wasn't sure whether I would even be deployed or not. Well, I would say, why does it matter if you would be deployed or not? Because there's so many things that the army does, even the infantry, that aren't about being deployed as well.
Look at Dave D criticising the private soldier for having a sling on. I'd expect an officer to be like that because you don't have to carry the gun. Dave D, we'll talk about that, and I'll give you my thoughts on, you know, people complaining about the person that's carrying the heaviest weapon actually slinging it. How dare you?
Yeah. Have you got advice for Luca about being worried about being deployed?
again, it's like going for special forces. Don't overthink it. You join. The amount of skills that you don't realise you will have, that you will collect, is like a musician trying to remember how did they learn how to play the guitar. They're going to go, I don't know. I just learnt one chord at a time until suddenly I'm here. You don't know. But that's the whole reason why, that is the reason why I give 100 points to you, male or female, when you go to join the military, because I don't know what's ahead of you, and neither do you, and neither does the boss, and neither does Trump. No one knows.
It does. And that's like, a part of it. At this point in time, it's great that you've made the decision to make the commitment, but it's not even so much about whether you want to join the army. It's more about whether the army wants you.
That's true.
At this point. And also, the only difference between the master and the beginner is that the master didn't give up.
That's true. Look, it's such a weird phenomenon. And that leads me on to what I was saying before. If you're not going to join the army for 4 years, where you can inadvertently end up staying for 40. If you're not going to do 4, then stay for 40. Or at least have the attitude that you're going in for 40 to give yourself the best chance of letting it work. And do you know what I said to the guys that were going to Kapuka? The advice they asked me a couple of days ago on the said bat phone. The advice I gave them was, when you go to Kapuka, what I want you to do is treat it like you're on Australian SAS Channel 7. If you treat it like a game show, it doesn't even have to make sense. Whatever they do to me, I'm going to be the last man standing. But it just so happens that, there'll actually be about 40 of you still standing. Your whole thing is not to expose parts about you don't want people to know.
Yeah.
It's just a game. It's a game.
Yeah, you say it all the time. It's not a confession session. I think I'm going to have to go soon, Kaz.
Me too. I've got a puppy to go and visit tomorrow. Jody, I bought a puppy for my little girl today, and it is cute as a button, and only a little bit bigger.
Aww.
It is such a beautiful dog. And unfortunately, it really looked like it took a liking to Dad, me, more than her. And Aaliyah said, just remember, you're not its dad, you're its uncle. It only has one parent, it's me, and I'm a mum. So she thinks she's a mum now.
That makes you the granddad.
No, she said uncle.
Yeah, all right, okay, but technically.
Well, okay, we're going to get out of here, team. I'd like to say thank you very much. Understand that we're back. YouTube has changed. You don't get to see it. We did the work in the background. Okay, Streamlabs was gone, and we've got that back. So once we've got this all working through the widgets, etc., and we've got the all the stuff downloaded, it's just going to get better and better. And tell me, just now if you can, before we go, how many reaction videos would you like to see a week? Because I'd like it to be 2 streams, okay, and reaction videos. I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah, I love the reaction videos myself, and I like the streams too.
Yeah, they're fun.
Sorry, I've got to tell you, Jodie's made a great point. She said it was good job getting a little one. It's a smaller poop to clean up, and that's true, because I've got to tell you, when a Pash poops, like out on the street when I'm taking him for a walk, it takes like 2 bags to pick it up. That's
a big turd.
He's a big boy.
You should sell that as tightly compressed buds to people, to beatniks in bloody Byron Bay.
Smells like Labrador.
Cookie Monster says 2 would be good each week. No worries. And Leah says 2 to 3. So what we can do is, because I'll try to always keep them under the 10 minutes. I couldn't, because I was doing a reaction video and I wasn't allowed to look away. I'll try to keep most of them under 10 minutes. That way you can go, okay, well, how about I don't look at any for 2 weeks, and then I sit down for an hour and watch a few. Because it can be fun to watch them back to back. And I know when I watch reaction videos, that's me. I'm locked in for the rest of the day. Love them.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same whenever I start watching one type of video.
Hashtag me too.
Me too, exactly.
I go to sit on the couch all the time, and my sex life's never changed.
I've got to say good
Fighting the Tarek Massoir. Next stream, if you want, you're on. Let's do it.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, Lauren, thank you very, very much. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to Nathan On. Thank you to Drunk Aussie. You know, love you dudes. You know, you keep my head.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you later, Jodie Stevens, and mucho respecto to you and the family in the USA too.
Yeah, night, Mr. Buckaroony.
Not Mr. Buckaroony. I can't believe this guy is so loyal to this channel when he's got his own channel to do.
That's great.
He always finds the time. Servant of a nation.
Yeah, everyone should check out his channel. Good
That's
night,
great.
Dave.
See you later, guys. Take it easy. And good night, girls and boys. Bye-bye. Shh. That'll be my eyes tomorrow.